What is up, party people? All right, so I got a request that I couldn't deny the person. I said, you know what? You're right. You're right. I need to clear things up. I need to make it so understandably clear how correct I am. Not only how correct I am. Yeah, but only how correct I am. Yeah. That's what this is about. Yeah, see, behind the scenes, the whole Horizon issue with Rumpus has raged on. It's still going. Problem is, it's not even with me and Rumpus. It's not even an argument, really. Let me get to it. I'll show you guys on the screen. Make life a little easier. It's just amazing to me that this is still going. I know some of you, it's very difficult to understand that I am right, regardless of whether or not you think you're right. But yes, I am right. So let me get to where this conversation happened. Actually, I got a screenshot, and I'll just show it that way. If I can remember where I put it. How professional. I know where it is. Here it is. All right, we'll see if this works. There you go. Okay, so this is the conversation. Yeah, I know it's probably a little difficult to see, but hey, life sucks. I'm gonna read it anyway, and then that way you guys don't have to worry about it. And again, this wasn't like well, that was really bad. I didn't like that at all. Hang on. It's not even like a bad conversation at all. It was actually a good conversation. It made me realize where I need to clear up. Ah, perfect. There we go. This will work. Yes. You guys can't see it yet, but I'm making it better, I promise. Ah, there we go. See, told you. Okay, so I had this conversation. And what had happened was, obviously the viewer felt that I was wrong in a situation, and I had to let him know, no, I definitely wasn't wrong. Let me fix my screen so I can read it my damn self. Oh, I almost forgot. I apologize. What's up, everybody? What's up, Sean? What's up, Dave? What's up, Fred? Gleam. Good job on Jose's. I am impressed. It was like 6-on-1, and Rumpus doesn't shut up. That's kind of why I left. What's up, Amy? How you doing? It was actually a wonderful, wonderful change of pace listening to you on the stream earlier today on Chills. Good stuff. What's up, DPS? What's up, Aaron? How you doing, sir? What's up, No Name? Let's see what else is in here. I gotta get to it. What's up, Dora? Hang on, I'm trying to get my mouse over there. I lost it. Yeah, I found it. Who else? Hey, what's up, Jose? What's up, RT? What's up, Digital? How you doing, sir? What's up, Airbus? And I'm gonna stop at what's up, B-Ball? Soul Survivor, how you doing? And I gotta stop there, guys. I'll go down. What's up, Barney? All right. So, like I said, I am very, very adamant in the fact that I know I am very correct in this conversation. What I'll do, I'll go ahead and get that link out to everybody, and we can go from there. I appreciate that, Digital. Problem is that I'm so correct. I don't need backup, but I do appreciate it. When you come on, just be prepared to listen because I want to get through this, and it's a very entertaining conversation. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so like I said, conversation, it started off good. It was nothing bad at all about it. It's just a good conversation. Ipasir, I guess his name, Ipir or whatever, stated it would be great if you would just take a few moments to back up the things you say. You don't have to mention them, but at least we know you had the facts on your side. We showed a lot of facts that night, and what's up, Only Sheeple? Doing pretty good. So, like I said, oh, I forgot. I'm looking at my main screen, and I forgot that I got the Jose way going on, so I can't just not pay attention to my phone. My bad. If anyone was trying to get in, keep trying. What's up, Aaron? How you doing? Oh, Ivan.
What's going on, Sean?
How you doing, sir? All right, so yeah, so you're kind of, you know what's going on. So I said to him, I have plenty of citations, and I've showed them. I said, don't worry, I'm going to be doing it upload soon. Trust me, I got this whole thing going in edits. I got like 5 different things, so that's kind of where I've been disappearing to over the past, just this weekend. I kind of told you guys about the prior week. So then Erpis, or Epir, I don't even know, EPRHRE, Aaron. Give me something, because I don't want to keep saying this name wrong, and that's what it looks like to me. Do I need to share it with you?
Efre?
That's what I don't know. I know everyone in the chat's going to start like sharing it or trying to tell me, and it's like you're not helping.
I would say
now you
I'd
can see
at,
it.
I'd say Efre. That's what I'd say.
Efren?
Efre.
I'm just going to call
it.
In the sense of not destroying this person's name, I'm going to just say viewer. All right, so the viewer says, I really don't think, or okay, so I said I was going to do that upload, and he said, I really don't think you should. You should invite him on to speak about what he really said, to discuss the idea. The idea that he thinks the horizon is a fixed point is a complete misrepresentation of the facts. What he said was correct. At a given altitude, the horizon is a fixed point. The horizon is always at a tangent with the Earth to your eye. Okay? I will answer this. And I'm going to do this for each one pretty much because it's fun. Everyone knows I've been telling everyone, Jose, I've messaged Jose on Discord. I've said it in the Hangouts while Rumpus was there that I wanted a one-on-one with Rumpus, and I have not heard back from him at all. So, that is not my fault. Should you guys? All right, cool. Say something real quick.
Hey, Sean, Efre, I was just thinking about it. It could be fear. Actually.
Fear. Yeah, I think that's what it looks. That's exactly what it looks like too. All right, and I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little slow on getting you guys in here because I have my phone in front of me, and that's like really tiny, so I I didn't see it until then. So give me a break. If you came in and I didn't let you in, it wasn't for a reason. It's just I wasn't looking down. So like I said, I've requested his presence many of times. He just doesn't show. What else? Okay, so then it says the idea. Okay, so Rumpus did not say the horizon was a fixed place, period. Okay, and I did say this in the live stream the day after. He says Mr. He says that any given altitude, the horizon is a fixed point. That is wrong. Again, I will give you a very, very, very clear example. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up. I told you guys I was ready for this one. I mean, not like present ready. I just meant, ready. Never present ready.
I would like to say that for Jose, being what a lot of Americans would call a goddamn immigrant,
Damn.
not being English, not being English.
Wait. I'm not mad at you. But hang on. Hold on. Hey, no, I'm not mad at you. But damn, Aaron. Fuck, man.
Jose being a goddamn immigrant.
That was brutal.
And English not being his first language. He's got English thrown at him left and right, and the only thing his electronics shows is English, and he can run like multiple sources seamlessly through a fucking 4-hour show, day on day. What is wrong with you and Travis? What is wrong with you and Travis? You guys can't figure it out.
I'm confused right now. You just said two different things. What does
Jose being a goddamn immigrant, where English is, I'm just joking, Jose, but English is not his first language. English is not his first language, but the only thing he communicates in on his technical devices is in English. So he's got to type in that and do all this fucking typing in English. And he's got his chat people throwing shit at him. He's got me and you throwing English at him. Yeah, he can run 4 or 5 devices seamlessly every fucking day. What's wrong with you and Travis? Why can't we figure this shit out?
Well said.
What are you talking about? You're talking about.
By the way, for the record, that's not racist.
For the record, I'm ready. I mean, you guys can see. I was just getting the picture. Like, I was just making sure.
I see it.
Okay, so each of these observers, you guys can see it on the left. Each little dot. Each X with the
That's a nice curve you got there.
Yeah, thank you. Each dot, that is where its horizon is located. That is 4 different locations. Let's make this clear, okay? That blue, you guys can't see it. You guys on here can, but people in the chat can't because I'm an asshole.
Yeah. He's better than you. Come on.
No, well, I wouldn't say that.
Why do you keep saying shit like that's not true at all?
I won't go that far, Aaron.
Like I'm so much better. Like my skills on OBS are like just. You can't. Man,
I can say this about Shunji. He can handle moving around different screens, but for some reason he does have a hard time with the aspect ratio. How the heck did you screw up the aspect ratio of the A, B, C, and D?
Huh? Oh, because I did it individually. I didn't use the same box. Like, what you don't get is that this is one of probably 45 different things to talk about. I just don't want to kill you guys with it right now.
Oh no, I got it. I know you just threw it together, but I just have a pet peeve with aspect ratio being a, video production.
You're gonna hate this presentation then. I'm much better at editing.
I am.
I just presenting like this, I suck ass at. So in the same sense, now we're looking at a building. In that building, no matter where we put an observer, that building will be at that location. No matter what. The viewer then stated, well, refraction changes the location of that building. And I had to make it clear, no. Refraction does not change the location of that building. Refraction changes the location of where your eyes see that building. That's called a mirage. We understand miraging. We shouldn't have to go into that and explain it. Now, here's the big thing that Rumpus was wrong on and why I'm so adamant about this whole argument. There is no such thing as a fixed anything horizon. Not at all. You guys need citations. You know I came prepared this time with citations. And you guys can talk all the shit you want because I'm actually ready for this one. So, like I said, there's plenty of evidence that, and I like saying evidence, so it's so right, that Rumpus is ether banding the shit out of the horizon, and it's a joke. It's irritating.
Would you say?
Hey, Sean, we could go astronomical on horizons if you really wanted to.
No.
See,
let's keep it terrestrial.
No. That's what you need to understand, because Rumpus is very confused by stuff, and one of the things I feel that Rumpus is really confused by is his people skills. The reason I say this is because, like I said, he's a smart dude, but he can't, like, the only person he can explain anything to is himself.
Is the mirror.
I understand it.
Exactly, the mirror. Yeah.
So what happens is when someone says, "Hey, hey, Rumpus, it's you, not your explanation," guess who gets all butthurt about it? Rumpus. So what he's doing is he's literally ether banding the horizon. He did it with superlooming as well, and it's fine. Like I said with Travis, I don't care. It's stupid, but I don't care. As long as we know what he meant, that's all that really matters. And
In the end.
huh?
Oh, in the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and I tried to express this to Rumpus, and he obviously said I was, he did his whole, like, Pete Shea is right on one person. Rumpus is playing a role, because you can't have a conversation with him without him saying his spiel. I know it because I have a soundboard of Rumpus, and I could literally have a Rumpus conversation right now with everything he says, and I bet no one would even notice. I'm going to do it one day. Watch, one day I'm going to do it. Okay, so this is what Rumpus is confused by, and he needs to understand. And what I think the viewer, fear, whatever the hell we call it, is confused about. There's two different measurements, two different horizons, so to speak. Listen. We only have an apparent horizon. There's no physical fixed location that we will observe. Why? Atmospheric conditions. Conditions of everyday life change that horizon, no matter what altitude, distance, blah, 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 blah. There is no place you can go every day in that horizon be at that spot. That's why it will never be a fixed place, point, spot, elevation to horizon point. No, it will not. You may get 1 or 2 days that actually may match up, but they're not going to be every day. That's why we call it an apparent horizon. It changes. It's not a fixed location like a building would be. Now, you may not be able to see that building so well because of fog, but that building is still there. It didn't go anywhere. It doesn't move. It doesn't change as to your elevation or your distance. It's there. Anybody so far have an issue with what I said?
Yeah, I do.
What's that?
Some folks would say that, let's say you're standing in the hill country.
Sorry about that, Sean.
And you look over and you see another hill.
No worries.
Or some hills, and some people would call that their horizon. The actual physical landscape topography.
Yeah. You ready for this?
Of the land. But you're right, John. That is not the horizon. So
check this out. I'm happy you brought that up, because that does bring up a good, interesting point to bring up about it. When looking at the sea from the shore, the part of the sea closest to the horizon is called the offing. Awesome, right?
Mm-hmm. The offering.
Mm-hmm. Continue.
Oh, so I just want to say that, let's say we're at the Montreal sand flats, right? The dune, or the you know what I'm calling the sand flats, wherever they are.
Bonneville.
You might be able to see a horizon there. Well, you will see
You can see horizon anywhere. You can see horizon on land.
You will see a limit of distance, absolutely.
Look, just remember this: we, in our brains, the horizon is this. This is the horizon. This is what in our brains we see the horizon as when the sky and the ocean appear to meet. Ooh, appear to meet. Ooh, appear to meet.
It's got to be land water. Yeah, it's got to be land water or water sky.
No. It can be land and sky. Again, it's your apparent. No. It's still a horizon. It's still a horizon. You just know it's not your true horizon.
Okay.
And that's another reason why the horizon is not a fixed physical blah 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 location. It's just not. It can't be. It is not at all. Now there is a.
It's apparently apparent, Sean.
Yes, sir. Now there is a situation where we will say it's a physical location, and you know what? It is. But then we're talking flat Earth style, because now we got to take everything out. We got to take condition, refraction, condition, all that. We got to take it all out.
No.
It doesn't count. No more. We don't have any atmosphere. We don't have nothing to get in the way. Nothing at all.
That?
What?
Who says that?
Oh.
Who says that? Come on.
The geometrical. When you're using geometry, you find the physical. Listen.
Geometrically.
Yeah. When you're looking for the physical horizon, right? Hear me? Physical horizon, you use geometry. So the geometrical horizon uses no refraction, no atmospheric conditions whatsoever. Therefore, it is a fixed location given your height, your location. But here's the thing: there's something you guys understand, and I learned this when I was looking into like the different models we have. There are two different situations. We have real world. Non-real world. Non-real world are kind of like blueprints. They don't account for nothing. They don't account for any mess ups. They don't account for nothing. It's just a blueprint, tells you what they want, and this is what I want you guys to do. Now, once you get on that job, Aaron, you'll be able to get this real quick. Once you get on a job, shit happens. And you may have to adjust, redraw, whatever, the blueprints. Because you have situation, aka conditions involved. That's why a blueprint is not real world. When you do the layout, surveying, doing the digging and stuff, Aaron, that is real world. That you then apply and adjust your non-real world, because the non-real world does not apply to anything that could happen or anything that will be seen.
Mm-hmm. They're called, a lot of times in our field, they're called change orders.
Yep.
At least in excavating.
Yeah, well, we call them T&M, time and money, T&M. So basically, that's change order. But basically, one, like I said, Rumpus is doing the ether band thing, or he says fixed point. He should be saying physical horizon, and then he's talking a non-real world situation, which we are not. And I even said that in that live stream numerous times. So for one, any fixed thing talk about horizon doesn't exist.
If I was on the Bonneville Salt Flats, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I was on the Bonneville Salt Flats, and I was looking out over whatever I consider flat or they say is flat, and I do see a line in the distance, right, where the sky meets the sand.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not a physical point. You're exactly right. But I could go out however far. I could have my wife drive a buggy out with a radio on her and say, I can't see you anymore. Stop. Right? Park the buggy sideways so at least, I can get a better view. And this is naked eye, right? Naked eye. Is that my horizon, even on salt flats?
Your visible horizon.
Okay. But it's not a fixed point, even though I told my wife to stop right at the point where I couldn't see her.
And the reason why you had to tell her is because she can't see it. It's not there to her.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. Yeah, because her visible horizon, she could barely see me or to the left or right of her. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it keeps going, the horizon.
Yep. It is not. It's you cannot. So, in the I kind of went away from it, but in the viewer, the comments that me and the viewer were having, it was like what do you call it? The same situation. They said, where is it? Find it. And it was a really good example, and it's the reason why it doesn't work. So,
Doesn't have to be a good reason. I think your reason's fine, Sean. It's just there is no physical horizon. That's why it's called the horizon. It's just what your eyes can see. That's it. But if you go there, it's gonna move.
Aaron, the horizon is there whether you look at it or not.
Yes, the horizon is there, and when you take one step closer towards it, it moves further away from you.
Correct, and at a fixed point.
And by the way, with Bonneville salt flats, if you stand at one end and you look out to your horizon, you will actually see the edges of the Bonneville salt flats.
Not very
What
big.
are the edges of Bonneville?
It's only 5 miles wide.
Yeah, it's not very big at all.
Yeah, actually they're not. But regardless.
It's a good illustration.
Demonic's been there, apparently.
Look, this is exactly so. Anything over land, mountains, and land and sky, it's a visible horizon. The tangent line is your true horizon, and I guess looking out across like your 90 degrees to whatever star or whatever. I guess is your astronomical horizon. That's part of your
Yeah,
straight circle thing.
Because that's what it says.
Yep.
Just a reminder, that's not to scale.
Yeah, that tree is way off.
Yeah, you got a Nephilim in there.
A Gesundheit.
Don't summon Borovski now.
Rod Skiba, that guy's a
On
fun one.
your astronomical horizon is, if you're on a ball, right, you just look out tangent to where your feet are level. And
yeah, you could use a peep sight to know what stars at your horizon
pretty much
at any time, or at night or whatever. That's kind of
what
how
they
they
say.
know. Also know that throughout the year we're moving somehow. I don't know. Somehow.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh yeah. Because if you stare at that star every night, guess what will happen? It will leave your horizon. And if we lived on a flat Earth where everything was just spinning above us, it would basically just be doing loops around us, coming closer and further away, because apparently everything doesn't move anywhere everything moves except for us. So we would be watching like a, those things you scare babies with that the thing pops out at you.
Jack in the Box.
Yes, Jack in the Box. Thank you, little man. I was talking to my son, not you, Aaron.
Call me little man.
Jack, yeah, because my son said it. You would instantly see stars just kind of like popping out at you and coming back, popping out at you, coming back as they went around in their concession. Because stars do move away and come further because we are orbiting the sun. So at 6 months out of the year, a whole set of stars is not what we see throughout the other part of the year. That's a problem. And I'm stupid and I know this stuff. Like, I understand it. Like, I can picture it now. It makes sense that I understand it. I would like someone to come forth with evidence that stuff does not happen. And saying ether does not count.
It's wintertime here in Texas.
Oh, Jesus. Are you about to do a scaling tutorial?
Yeah. And I can see Orion's belts when I look south at about this time. But I'm in my shed, so.
You love that shed, don't you, Aaron?
Absolutely, it's warm in here. Got me a little.
Here's something strange, Aaron. If you can see Orion's belt, how come I can see it too?
Yeah, because it's overhead. What? Yeah. Because it's overhead.
But
Demonic.
Aaron, you understand how far apart we are.
Yeah, it's overhead. Demonic. Which direction are you looking? I'm looking south to see it. Which direction are you looking?
Why would Orion be over my head when it's in space?
It's over our heads. Okay.
But how can it be over my head and your head? How?
Because it's not under our ass.
You guys remember that Aaron's not a flat earther, right?
Yeah,
He
I
sounds
know,
like
but
one.
this is
Yeah, see, that's
but
the
this
funny
is
part. He is the true essence of a flat earther that wants to fit in, because he knows it's not flat. He can't even like honestly tell you he's a flat earther. He'll have to laugh or avoid answering, but he's not a flat earther. He just asks questions like one.
Doesn't matter to me, right?
You
Sean?
mean he has dumb questions?
Yeah, but he's really smart and it pisses me off.
I know.
I love the debate. Everything's fine.
How do you feel?
I think this whole horizon, fixed point, whatever, this is just a semantics thing.
Yeah, you know, he's here. I like him. Aaron's okay. I've definitely dealt with worse trolls.
I think it all comes down to your definition of fixed point.
Nope.
Yeah, it does.
Because that building is a fixed point. A survey point is a fixed point.
Now, what if the building moves?
Why would the building move? How does the building move?
What if it does?
How?
Yeah, but Carlos,
how's it going to move from its foundation? Its swaying, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about its foundation, its location.
Okay, let's say it's not a building. Let's say it's a vehicle.
Okay.
So that would still be a fixed point, right?
Yeah, that would.
But what if it moves?
You can go to it though.
Alternative to our current lineup. A current lineup just has Kent's case.
You still, I mean,
I'm telling you right now, the reference thing in general relativity matters like I didn't realize it either. Like the reason the way the horizon works and it's explained, and how like the astronomical horizon is explained, like all these different horizons are explained in detail because of these conversations, these philosophical conversations they had about it.
Well, in theory, if you had a perfect surface in the earth and I'm walking away from you, and as you're looking at me walking away from, and right before the point where my feet start getting obstructed, that would be technically the
my
horizon, and I would be standing on it. Correct?
You would be standing at my horizon. But
right. I went to it.
No, you would never know you were there. And
right, but I went to it.
And yeah, okay. But I can't go to it. I can't go to my horizon. You go to where I tell you to. It was the same thing Aaron said with his wife driving.
Somebody can go to the horizon. So
yeah, but you wouldn't.
Your argument is that you can go to it.
Would you? Okay.
And if you can go to the building.
If I said go to a building, and you went to the building, you could say I'm there. I'm at the building. Call me when you get there. If I said that about my horizon, you couldn't do that.
No. If you say, "Hey, keep going towards the horizon until I see your feet start disappearing," and they say, "Hang on, Carlos, your feet are disappearing. Walk back. Okay, I can see them now." Then I'm standing on your horizon, technically.
Okay. So, but what if that's not my horizon because refraction? Maybe it's an illusion that it's my horizon.
Okay, there you go. Well, that's the difference there. But in theory, somebody could physically go there to that horizon.
They can go to the geometric horizon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
But the geometric horizon, if you go to the geometric horizon, it may not be my horizon. I may not see your feet disappear.
I got you. Okay, I got you. It's multiple factors.
Oh yeah. And that's what it is.
I got you now.
If we had no conditions, we would have a fixed location probably.
See, you just gotta ask the right questions.
Exactly. And I said all these things.
And the real question is, what the heck are you eating? Every time I catch
I was eating donuts. The last donut And I was like, be quiet about it. No one said anything. I was putting it away as you said something.
Yeah, but I got you all excited, so you couldn't help but to talk, huh?
Yep. Yeah, they're little mini donuts. I'm a glutton to donuts.
Chocolate?
No.
He was eating donut holes, yeah. Chocolate.
They're
donut
crumble cake.
Here's the thing: I'm not gonna eat regular donuts. I'm gonna eat mini donuts because they're less. But you eat like 12 of them instead of 2 donuts.
That's my third pack. Third pack, and I think there's what?
Oh wow,
4 or 5.
How was the
cholesterol?
How was the powder held on to those donut holes, Sean?
It's not powder. Gravity? There's no powder.
Gravity.
Surface tension.
Sticky stuff. Sugar.
Oh, sticky stuff. Okay. Not gravity, apparently.
So hang on, I'm reading the chat. Dave says you're getting close to the personal dome theory. Absolutely not. When you have we need critical thinking says when you have time, check out Ramus 24B comment on this video. The comment tries to use survey knowledge to prove flat Earth. That's actually a good point. We need critical thinking because, like I said, I am what I would consider in this community as a hobbyist surveyor. It's not what I do for a living, but I do know how to do it. I've done many of topos for many of projects. As a plain surveyor, you can make that argument, but once you start getting into the geodesy and the scale of and the magnitude of what is being explained, it's not under the same rules. And a plain surveyor you would instantly run into errors trying to do small plots. You're hot, Mike Carlos.
Sorry, this was I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So let's say that you have a structure that is known to be flat, and then you plot some points along the structure. Is it possible to extrapolate that out into a tangent line?
Yes. Wait. The foundation itself. Okay, so you're basically saying, can you?
No. I'm just saying a known flat structure that you take some points, GPS points in every single part, and then for you to extrapolate, and would you have enough granularity to be able to make it, tangent from the surface of the Earth?
Well,
like with drones or something. Did I just mess it with you?
I was just like, that would be on a scale I don't think anyone would be able to even fathom.
Hashtag we can do this.
Bringing that back now.
Hey, Sean.
Hang on in the chat. Refraction doesn't make the horizon 100 miles away or 10 feet in front of you. Your theory is limitations.
It's direct in your
refraction. I'm not saying that Erebus. I'm not saying refraction determines the horizon, because again, the refraction won't give you the horizon. The refraction will give you a miraging where the horizon appears, but it's not your true horizon. But it can affect you seeing less than that 100 miles more than it would without refraction, is what I was saying. Dave says again, at least you agree with refraction. One thing that makes boats disappear bottom up, along with waves and atmospheric conditions that affect optics. Water. Oh, you just twisted words, Dave. No, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't say anything that had to do with disappearing bottom up. I said it can affect where you see that bottom up, and that bottom up doesn't change. It only affects the mirroring or the miraging that's happening around that optic, but at the same time, doesn't determine bottom up. It has nothing to do with that. When it's a physical body in front of it, like water, like in Travis's observations, that's a physical body of water that we have already established was not a wave or a swell from his mouth. That's a physical body of water. That is not refraction. A physical body of water is not miraging. A physical body of water is obstructing a physical boat due to curvature.
That's hard to say. Sean, what's that? There's a building in Washington State, I think in Louisiana, that measured gravity waves. It's something.
Shut up. No. Say it.
LIGO.
No. Digital, stop. He's playing troll right now. Aaron, shut up.
Okay.
You know exactly what it's called.
I want to know where their laser horizon is. You know, through that tube, whatever they send it through.
I don't think their laser has a
Does it
horizon.
account? Does it account for
Yeah,
the
Sean, can I answer this question?
Absolutely.
curvature of the Earth there? Did they build up one end to
The
account
pipes
for
are
curvature?
level.
But the light,
The light.
the laser also travels in a curve.
Aaron,
Deborah?
I'm going to ask you right now. Go to LIGO's website and look at the schematics for the damn thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's a little like you asked me some technical shit that like I'm not gonna know.
Deborah, I just want to ask you, how long are the
3 miles.
tubes? 3 miles in north-south directions, right? They got north-south.
You can look that up real quick. Is your Google broken?
Sorry, north and west. I think they got.
He said he's going broken.
Yeah, it must be.
All right, cool. So 3.
No, you need Aaron. If you've got a question like this, you need to go and research it for yourself to understand how it works.
Yeah, bro. So you don't need to tell me what to do. Okay.
No. I'm not telling you what to
Hey,
do. I'm
Aaron.
explaining to you what you need to do to answer your own question.
No. I was asking Sean.
I'm being a
actually,
dick.
I wasn't
Aaron,
asking you, Davros,
Aaron,
but you
Aaron,
piped
Aaron,
it.
I'm being a dick. Go do some fucking research.
Fuck that. I'm being an asshole. Go do some fucking research, asshole.
You're a dick.
I try.
Yeah, when you finish that research, you can come back and tell us all about it.
About light bending over a curve. Yes, I can. Thank you, Sean Smith.
And then any other questions after you do your research, we can try to extrapolate.
Try.
You can extrapolate? You don't even know what that word means.
Okay.
Oh, don't I?
No, you don't.
Let me expand on that.
I like that he knows what. I like that Aaron knows, but he don't know what LIGO is.
Funny shit. You're funny, Aaron. Like a fucking clown.
Also, there's 2 of them, Aaron. There's 2 of them.
Actually,
Yeah,
there's
no, I said
3
in
of
Washington
them.
State, Louisiana is what I said.
And there's one in Victoria.
Oh, geez, now there's 3.
But they're not.
They're multiplying.
There's one over here.
It's not a LIGO though.
I didn't know we had one here.
No, it's. I'll get the damn place.
He's talking
on
Victoria
Wikipedia
in
right
Canada.
now. I'm not even on Wikipedia right now, Sean. I'm just on my phone in my shed.
Yeah, but you.
And
you
I
can,
know
you
one
can
is
say,
in
You can
Hanford.
say. You
One
can
is in
say
Hanford.
LIGO.
I didn't know what it was. I wanted to say LiDAR because that's what the police are using around here. You know, to catch speeders. Is LiDAR
Drunk drivers?
speeders. Mostly.
I'd say drunk drivers.
It's a LiDAR. LiDAR. It's a laser. LiDAR is a laser ranging device, right? Laser.
Are you sure? You don't
Whatever.
sound sure. What's wrong? Is your troll tripping you up?
Anyway, I didn't know what LiGAR. Well, what's LIGO? That's the name of it.
Your troll is showing.
I'm just saying. Anyways, I just want to know where that their laser beam horizon is. If it stretches over 3 miles of curve and in 2 different.
Yeah, you should definitely check that out. It'd probably be a really good answer. We're really interested.
Yeah, it'd be nice if Aaron could come in with some information about it. It'd be really good.
We'd appreciate
It'd
it.
be nice if Davros just shut the hell up.
Why are you being so mean to Davros?
Well,
because he's crappy to me. Okay.
I'm trying to help you, Aaron.
Your troll is showing, Aaron. He's trying to help you.
Okay.
Aaron, it's not pick on Aaron Day today, so you're right.
Let's pick on Sean.
Try.
Well,
Which one?
I do pick on Sean.
Which one?
But then I agree with him.
Which one?
Yeah, which one?
Which one?
All Sean's.
Oh, good luck.
Oh.
Good luck.
Good luck on that one.
I was AFK.
Sean, it'd be cool. I don't know if you want to move on with your Horizon thing. I'm on board with you, absolutely.
Want to move the
these folks
horizon?
don't seem- these folks don't seem too interested. But what I was interested in was listening to you on Jose's this morning,
Okay.
with Rumpus, dude. That was
Yeah,
pretty cool. And
again, it was
not just Rumpus, but
it with Bob and all that. Like, okay, here's what I realized. I get it, Terry, and I'm sorry I have to clump you in with the old people. Shit does not. Just because you're old doesn't mean you know. Bob,
That's it.
Bob was wrong as it fucking gets. He wanted to come in and play. I know, but that shit don't work on me. I literally read actual documents that the United States government knew Japanese airplanes were on the way somewhere over the Pacific, headed towards their fleets.
yes.
It wasn't the fact that they knew for
Yeah.
months. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with they could have been at least getting ready. Do you not understand that the men and women of our Navy were eating fucking breakfast, scratching their balls when that shit happened because somebody didn't pipe the fuck up?
Somebody didn't tell them to turn on the radar. You think there wasn't any radar at Pearl Harbor, Sean? Right? That's what Bob was saying. Is like they didn't have any air command control or of the surrounding area at that time, and that is ludicrous, Bob.
Yeah, it was bad. That was the time you should have started trolling because I wanted to troll. I wanted to go. Okay, we're done talking. Here's what really got me, and this is what I've started noticing. The old guys, they don't like being wrong.
Yeah.
And I get
can't
it.
Fight with them because
I get it.
I'm
I don't
not,
like being
I'm
wrong
not
either.
smart. I'm not smart enough to be wrong.
I'm not wrong enough to be smart.
Terry, if you
Aaron?
were smart, you'd be wrong.
They and them says I said my version of a false flag was wrong. My version of a false flag, and I'll clear it up, is a situation event that happens that Intel they had Intel on, and rather than just go according, you allow it to happen, thus to have a way of persuading your public. Now, that's a very layman's way of explaining it. I could get a little more technical, but I'm not looking at it or anything. What the hell are we watching?
I got no idea.
What are you doing, Carlos? You gonna porn bomb me?
Well, no, I'm showing you footage from when I was flying back from Nicaragua. Yeah, man. That was actually a footage of me showing the location, my elevation, which was like 40,000 feet, and I had like 7 satellites on my GPS logger.
Did you have a spirit level with you?
I almost did, but no. I leave that to BlueMarble. But I did want you to see. I have a time lapse where I had left the camera fixed and look at the wing and at the horizon. See how much that plane is moving and correcting. I'm gonna put it back. I can't. I have to put it on mute because there's music in the background here. So.
See what happens when you tell us? You be all prepared and shit. Like we're not just sitting there going, "Is he about to porn bomb me?"
Sean, you were going on to if there was intel.
Okay, for instance,
knowing
you know what
two...
Operation Northwood is?
Yes.
Okay, so if people that don't know what Operation Northwood is, it wasn't an operation that happened. It was an idea that the United States government came up with, a way to invade Cuba. Their ideas that are one of the ideas of Benny were to put college students on a plane to Cuba and then blow it up.
It wasn't a way to invade Cuba per se, Sean. You're right, but it was a way to invoke Russia. I
Well, yeah, but our plan was to invade Cuba.
Pretty much. Yeah, at the same time, yes.
Yeah, Sean, didn't that also have a plan to put strategic bombs on mainland USA to incite the violence against Cuba?
Yep, and they wanted to also give Cuban forces armory to make it as if they were preparing for this.
Fidel
And guess who got shot in the head? Guess who got shot in the head 12 months later?
I'll try to guess. Oh wait, was I supposed to really guess?
Starts with a K. Starts with a K.
President Kennedy.
It starts with a J.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, so
I was
he
just going with the
denied.
last name.
Yeah, he denied the operation. He said, "No way, we're not going to do it."
He also
Alright,
he
because
also
he
had
knew
a
it was
nice.
shit.
He also had a speech right before that day that basically was like saying, "There's a lot of shit going on that no one knows about. Look out."
Davos seems to think that President Kennedy knew about the Northwoods operation. No. That was a
They brought it to his attention.
CIA operation.
Hey, matter of fact, he's the reason it didn't happen. He rejected it. He's the reason it didn't happen, Aaron.
Mm.
And he's also one of the presidents that, without saying it, was doing the wink, look over here.
Fucking Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Porn bombing the White House.
That Lincoln
It's
bed
a great
could
story.
talk.
It's a great story. Right, it's a great story. Now, let's go back to Pearl Harbor real quick. There are billions of dollars.
Does that prove flat Earth for you, Aaron?
No. We're just talking about a little bit of conspiracy that you were talking about on Jose's, which I totally agree with you with. And you were like a lone soldier there with like Blue Marble, Bob the Science Guy, Rumpus.
Yeah, trust me. If that's the conspiracy deniers A team.
Yeah, I know. It's easy to debunk. Yeah. Blue Marble says that the National Air Defense of the United States is unarmed. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, they're not unarmed.
National Air Defense.
No, but the thing is, but the thing, Aaron, is I actually have a lot of respect for Bob and Blue Marble,
Me too.
And Big Blue. No. See, that's the difference though, because I said what I had to say, but I wouldn't troll them because I think they're wrong. I wouldn't.
No. I don't troll them
I think
either,
they're wrong. I have a lot of respect for them, so it's not that I'm happy they're wrong. It doesn't make me happy.
They were plagiarizing you. And I like how you just stood your ground, didn't troll, and all that shit.
Yeah, that's because I'm not a troll.
Neither am I. What the hell? I don't even know what a troll is. I just join your show and talk to all these.
I got a couple. Hey, that's cool. I got a couple uploads explain exactly what a troll is. You want to see them?
Go for it.
You really? You want to see them for real?
No, I don't care what a troll is.
You're a Dunning-Kruger troll, Aaron.
Oh, Harry, come on.
Yeah. Apparently you star in one of them too, Aaron.
Few of them.
So let me just make one point on the point that I brought up that Sean was talking about. Then he got derailed by Davros and then Terry and everybody else. There were billions of dollars.
Excuse us?
Can you guys all stop trolling Aaron?
There were billions. There were billions of dollars of wartime equipment in a wartime. Even though it wasn't a declared war, the United States put billions of dollars of ships, equipment, planes, military, Marines, everything over in Hawaii at Pearl Harbor. Billions of dollars, fully armed. All the best technology there to watch what was going on.
It was a
all the
midpoint
best
to
technology.
Oh jeez.
All the best technology to see what was going on in the east there, the Orient, right? Because Japan had already started moving down the coast of China.
Isn't your wife Japanese?
She's Chinese.
Oh, my
She's
bad.
So
Chinese.
her grandfather lived through it.
Same thing.
So
Yeah,
Aaron, let's get back to your question because you've been going on for a little bit. But what's the question?
Yeah, for real.
The question is, like Sean said,
Oh, like I said.
are we supposed to think that there was no forewarning of an attack on Pearl Harbor? Are we supposed to think it was a surprise attack? Even though we went there first.
It was definitely a
We were the
surprise
ones
attack. A lot of people were
was
surprised.
there was forewarning.
Yeah. Sean, the people were surprised. Yeah, the people, not
Yeah, there was forewarning.
not the government. The
No,
U.S. government back in
the government,
Washington
the U.S.
D.C.
government knew about it. They never passed the information on to Pearl Harbor. It was already known.
And
Okay,
what makes it a
Sean
false
Smith.
flag to me is that what happened after Pearl Harbor. That was pretty. It's a pretty big deal. What happened?
So Sean Smith, they turned off their radar circulators there on all the ships they had, right? So they had
Are you sure
no
those
idea
ships
what
had
was
radar?
flying around.
Well,
Are you sure those ships had radar, Aaron?
They wouldn't have been able to see them from Japan.
Absolutely.
Most
They
of
set up
most of
radar
those
bases.
ships,
They set up
most of
radar
those ships weren't even set to have their radar on.
Yeah,
they were sitting in a base.
in the port. Yeah, they weren't doing anything. They might as well have been being repainted at the time.
Some of them were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just painting the ships. Like, hey, let's just chill out in Hawaii. Let's get closer.
Yeah, because it's our base.
Go find me
one. Why wouldn't we?
Find me one naval ship that has a bit of rust on it. They don't play.
Anyway, Sean, I agree with you. There was forewarning. These trolls are going to say that there was no relay from Washington D.C. From the headquarters back way over to Hawaii in time, even though it was like 5 months before, 6 months before. Imminent attack. Japan is moving south. They're going around the Pacific Rim. That's what they were doing. How do we know that? Well, we had information of that. We had information of them attacking Korea, China, Philippines, Malaysia.
I think you need to reread your history, Aaron.
Okay, why? Why, Davies?
Because the front for Japan to go into the Philippines didn't happen until after Pearl Harbor.
Yep. But it's what incited us.
No, Davros. No.
I would know. My uncle was there.
My grandfather was there.
Yeah, and do you understand
I
that
know,
after
'cause I
Pearl
have
Harbor,
Google.
yeah, Japan went down there just before 1943 into the Philippines.
And, yeah, I know. And Pearl Harbor was.
You live there. You live in America. You tell me. I just guarantee you it was before 1943.
I think we call it D.
Yeah. LIGO. Fucking troll.
Yeah, I will tell you, I'm not a troll, so I don't know the exact date that Pearl Harbor was attacked.
Okay, so June 6, 1942 is a very important date for you to remember, Aaron.
There it is, yeah. 6/6. Yeah. Okay.
Pearl Harbor happened before that invasion.
And what they call that invasion, Aaron?
No, you tell me what invasion?
No. You were bringing it up. What did they call that invasion?
The U.S. wasn't invaded, by the way, because
I didn't say the U.S. was invaded. What did they call the big invasion? What did they call the big invasion?
State back then, right?
What did they call the big invasion?
Hawaii wasn't actually a state back then, right?
Aaron,
Hawaii was not even a state until 1951.
What did they call the big invasion?
What do you mean the big invasion? Where?
Jesus Christ.
The beaches of Normandy.
That would be what they would call D-Day. I think it's November something, 1945.
I just gave you the date. Oh my god! It was the 6th of June, 1942. It was called Operation Overlord.
On where? On Normandy?
Yeah.
In France, yes.
And Pearl Harbor was in
I'm
41.
Pearl Harbor bombing. Gee whiz.
Pearl Harbor was in 41.
Oh, I don't know about that. No. I think Pearl Harbor came after. No. You don't have
December
to-
7th,
everything's
1941. My grandmother's birthday.
Yeah, late 41. Because people seem to forget that Darwin was bombed 3 months after, and we had more bombs dropped on Darwin than we did it.
Yep.
They did.
Yep.
Than they did at Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
And further, what on earth are you talking about Hawaii being in the path for destruction as they went along the Pacific Rim? Hawaii's in the middle of the damn plate.
There are islands in between Hawaii and the Philippines. Yes, there are. And Indonesia. There are.
Actually, no. The kamikazes weren't invented until much later in the Pacific Theater.
They weren't called kamikazes, but that's what they were.
And most importantly, Hawaii was not a state back then. So
The territory.
You can't say it's an attack on America.
Isn't it? It's a what are you talking about? If someone attacks Puerto Rico, it's an attack on America. You know that, right?
If someone attacks Guam, it's an attack on America.
No.
Someone's hot micing.
Brian, you got a lot of feedback.
Of course it was Brian. I should have known. Fucking Brian.
I have no idea what it is.
Why would you stack up? Yeah, it sounds like. Oh, he's doing a spacewalk. He's doing a spacewalk underwater.
He's on a submarine. Radar
That's what it
going.
sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's above the dome. He's in the waters above.
Your chat.
Brian's on a big boob.
Oh god, what was his name on face? Tatias?
Yeah, he named his third nipple.
Sonar.
Sounds like he's flicking it. He's flicking it real hard.
All right, what were you talking about? I left because I couldn't handle Aaron's troll.
We're talking about. Brian said that I mentioned that the Japanese were coming down the Pacific Rim. Okay, which is what you could call that in the northern hemisphere. Okay.
Hawaii is in the middle of the plate. It's not on the rim.
You're quiet, Brian. You're underwater. Put your scuba gear on. Scuba.
Aaron, you know the Pacific Rim comes down the side of Australia, don't you?
Yes. I know. That's why I just said.
So it comes down the southern hemisphere, mate.
Yeah, northern hemisphere. Yeah, what we'd call latitudes and longitudes of the flat Earth, right there.
Carlos, are you creeping on little kids?
Yeah. Could you not?
That's a bit creepy. That is.
Yeah.
Carlos.
Yeah, no, without giving us any explanation as to what he's trying to show us.
Yeah, zooming in on a kid's playground. That's a bit creepy.
Whatever. How dare you guys call me a creep? Yeah, sorry. There was no context whatsoever. That is totally my bad. I was just filming from a mountain.
Yes.
Yeah, but why zoom in on a kid's playground?
It was for
Yeah,
reference.
that's
It was
a
for
bad video
reference.
to
It wasn't
start
for the
with.
kids just reference, wasn't it, Carlos?
It's all about reference.
Yeah.
He was shooting them foam balls. He was shooting them foam balls so they could relate to what
I was not shooting anything. Shut up.
Aaron,
that
your
was a bad
troll
troll.
game, your troll game today is just way off par. Give it up.
Dude, I gimped it. Don't worry about it. Okay, so now we're normal.
Yeah, you gimped on in for sure.
I'm not the one zooming in on kids, all right? Come on. So
You better be careful taking pictures of those drug
let's talk
houses
about
up there.
this, guys. Let's talk about this. Davros, and Terry. I believe you're both.
For real.
Are you both Aussies?
I hope so.
Terry's a key. Terry's a key.
Kangaroos kicking around over there, punching everybody.
Carlos, what camera are you using for these?
Does Australia have?
It's the Canon point and shoot or handycam.
Does Australia have, Davos? Do they have what's called an Australian Air Defence, the AAD? Do they have that?
It's the RAAF, Royal Australian Air Force.
Yes, we have planes.
And do these?
If we investigated that video, Carlos, I bet we would find a drug house.
With all the
It is very possible.
Carlos got some happy. Never mind. So the AAF, do they run around unarmed? This air defense, and knowing that China's getting closer and closer.
Aaron, listen carefully. Okay, we have the Royal Australian Air Force. We also have the Royal Australian Defence Force.
And all these billion-dollar equipment run around unarmed, right? Just to deter possible invasions. We'll fly up next to them. We'll maybe fly.
Why would we do that? We sell our shit to China.
I know. You're third in line. Trust me. So China has better equipment than you do, right? China has better equipment than you do. So your planes run around unarmed above the skies of Australia to keep you safe from possible air attacks.
Aaron, that is not the claim that Bob and Big Blue were making earlier.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yes, he's trying.
Yeah, Sean, that's where I'm going. I'm going right there. No. Well, yeah. The NDAA, in our aspect, Sean, the National Defense Aeronautics Administration, and NORAD are different. However, each agency has defense mechanisms. Okay?
Yeah, and they don't
but
always.
They also have,
if they always flew the jets that were defending their coast, you understand that at some point there would be no planes because they have to refuel and they have to do a bunch of shit. The planes that are really protecting our coast are sitting on a tarmac somewhere, not flying around.
NORAD focuses on the Northeast and the Canadian border.
They don't patrol the border, the coast.
Yes, they do. Absolutely.
No, not in the jets.
To defend, deter, and distinct. Or look at their motto. Look at their motto. To defend, deter, and another D word.
Yes. Well, DARPA, their terms are do it DARPA hard. So I'm guessing people in high deal with like lots of clearance and do secret shit can say whatever the fuck they want. Our aircraft specialists that do secret planes is Skunk Works.
Okay, that sounds cool. All right, let's just go to this. Let's go to this relevanticity right here. That the U.S. has airplanes, military aircraft flying around unarmed across the nation just to make sure it's on call.
No, they're
There's a bunch
training.
on the
They're
ground.
training.
There's a
They're not.
bunch
No,
on the
they're
ground,
training. They're not
Sean.
patrolling.
There's a bunch on the ground, just like you say. But there's a bunch flying over the southern border right now, guaranteed. There's a bunch flying over the East Coast and the West Coast, just chilling. Yes, they go in rotation, no big deal. They're unarmed, and
They are training.
what kind of defense is that?
It's not. It's called training.
Yeah, it's called maneuvers. They go out on maneuvers just to
No,
train
that's what they
to
do
make
over
sure
Air
that
Force
they.
bases.
Will you let me
That
finish?
over Air Force bases, Sean.
Will you let me finish? They go on maneuvers like that
But you
to
don't
do
know.
two things. Hold on. To show force and also to train the pilots. That's all it's for.
I
But
think
yet our
Carlos found the drug house.
but yet Sean Smith, our police walk down our neighborhoods, busting in our doors, fully
What the hell
loaded,
are you
fully
talking
armed,
about?
right? But yet our national defense is unarmed.
You're retarded.
But,
Why are you
but
even
yet
talking about
our ground forces
No,
are totally armed.
What the hell?
Aaron, stop the
Come
troll.
on. You guys are
No,
making-
stop.
you guys are-
No, Aaron, stop the
ridiculous.
troll. Sean, I joined. Aaron, do you want to know the sad thing? I joined to actually defend you against demonic because I know how mean he can be.
This is the drug house, by the way.
And now I need to apologize to demonic for even thinking about doing it.
Ban them. I'm sorry for. I'm just bringing up a point, though. I'm just bringing up a point.
All
Don't
hail the
hold it against
bacon,
me.
and Canadian bacon's a conspiracy.
But demonic is a troll. That he's worse than me. I mean, big time.
You want me to troll, Aaron? You want me to
I
troll?
learned from you.
Aaron, if you want me to troll, I can make you cry, buddy.
I learned from you.
If you learn from me, mate, you would be smarter than you are right now.
How does smarts have anything to do with it?
Because you wouldn't be being a troll.
No. We are trolls for a reason, right, demonic?
Play the video, Sean. Play the video.
What's that say, Sean? Oh, I can't quite read that. Okay. Okay, I'll go full screen. Yeah.
No, Sean, put your glass on, Ozzie. There you go.
Why? How is that even okay?
Because they can only afford one.
Dude, you're a moron, but I love you.
I'm just trolling. Come on, I'm trolling. Come on.
That's not how you do it, though. Okay, right now, because you're gonna present something.
It's not what refraction is.
What is the light refracting off of it? Or refracting towards or away from?
Refracting through is the preposition you're looking for. It is refracting through air.
What is air? Come on.
Serious?
Air is a mixture. Air is a mixture of gases.
Yes. Predominantly what? Nitrogen.
Predominantly nitrogen.
Yeah. And do we have any experiments of a laser being shot through nitrogen, showing it refracting?
Aaron, that's a good question. I have a question. Is Google broken on your phone?
I mean, that was
That wasn't that long ago.
way better errands than that. Come on.
Aaron, that was a pretty good one.
Hey, what is there? What is there? When Travis was telling me to shut up.
No.
That one's good too. I know. I blame Bob for that. It's all fun. Sorry, Davros. Nobody trolls like me.
You know the saying, Sean, don't talk with your mouth half full, fill it up.
Exactly. Well, the YouTube couldn't hear me, so I don't feel bad.
So I picked up these things. Nature Valley Krispy Kreme wafer bars. Peanut butter and chocolate. They're like crack. Oh, they are awesome.
It's like, I'm up all night now.
They and them.
Is that crack on a cracker?
Wow. I've seen
They
that.
and them.
Crackly.
They and them wanted to talk, yeah.
But you were talking. Stop.
If I want to talk, Aaron, I'll talk.
You called my name. I just thought you wanted to address me. That's all. Undress me.
Just for the record, Aaron's on his 5th.
I want to do neither of the two options.
Aaron didn't get very drunk tonight.
That's
good. Bad. Good job, Aaron.
Night's still young, and it's Sunday. It's my Friday.
Oh, Aaron, you could shotgun a couple beers right now.
Hey, Sean.
Oh, what?
Hey, Sean, I could do whatever I want right now.
Huh? I don't know what that means. No, you can't.
Well, he was just telling me what I could do, and I was telling him what I could do. Right?
No, you can't do anything. You don't have freedom. That's the next
Says
day.
who?
Tomorrow's stream is going to be on that whole freedom talk, because I keep hearing about it, and man, everybody better fucking recognize there's no such thing as real freedom, no matter what.
All right, let's preface this. Let's preface your tomorrow night's show. Okay.
Why has it got to be tomorrow night? Maybe I'll do it at noon.
I thought you said it was tomorrow night, but your next show.
If I do it at noon, guess who I know won't be here?
Okay, well, probably me, because I'll be out making money, man.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, you won't be free.
Yeah, for real. And I'll be on the computer making money still. And I meant because I got trucks running around. I don't need to be out like you do. Peasant.
How come I won't?
And I'll be making money as well.
How come I won't be free making money, Davros?
Because you have to. You got to pay taxes.
Because you're working for someone. You're doing work for somebody else.
Oh, even just to keep your wife or your family alive, you have to do it.
Yeah, but so do you, and so does Davros, and so does everybody. It's creative labor. That's all it is. Money is just a representation of your trade of labor.
Okay.
No, you think I have a job, Aaron?
If you don't, or if you have had, good for you. That's fine.
Aaron, my leg has been in plaster for the last 2 months.
Okay, fine. So before you broke your leg, did you do labor? Did you go out and do work?
Did not break my leg. So your premise is already fucked.
Did you break your leg just walking down your stairs?
No, he didn't break his leg.
Unemployed?
Did you not hear him? You didn't hear him, did you? He said, I didn't break my leg. Matter of fact, not only did he say he didn't break his leg, he has explained what happened as well. At least 10 times to me. Like, I know. Everyone knows, except for you, because you don't listen.
Okay, sorry. Your leg's been in plaster. So what happened?
And it wasn't his leg, it was his ankle.
You see how everyone can interject in it? Because we all know, because we listen.
I don't listen to Davros that much, Sean. I'm sorry.
That's why you don't know
Okay,
much.
okay, Sean. Which ankle is it? The left ankle or the right ankle?
I remember that ugly ass nasty picture. This is right. Pretty sure it's right.
Sorry, you're wrong.
No, it's all relative, Sean. Depends on what frame of reference you're looking at it from.
Yeah, you could have had the picture married.
Yeah, I've got pictures of both sides, and you can see my right foot has a freaking shoe on it.
Well, I also remember that your foot wasn't exactly like visually
pretty.
Yeah, like some parts look like
it wasn't
the ankle, but like I wasn't sure, and you can't see like the what do you call it, the arch. Like your foot was swollen, dude. I wasn't looking at toes. I was looking at your ankle, and that was wrong. Yeah, see, I have reason. I know enough that you know I was listening. Because I don't know what
Yeah,
toe
I
was
know,
where.
because you said, don't show me those fucking photos again.
I almost threw up the second time. I was like, caught me off guard and shit. I was like, oh.
Yeah, and then you show us a photo of your bloody hand after having microsurgery.
Yeah, but like, it was my wrist, though.
That's your hand. It's your hand, yeah.
Exactly.
So, Davros, I'm sorry for
but
your
Aaron,
immobility.
I've had many jobs, but my major job was being a fabricating engineer.
That's cool. That's cool. I go out and do work for folks who inquire to me first. You know, they call me, and I don't advertise.
Oh yeah,
and
Aaron, before when the stream's done, we gotta talk.
Okay.
I remember that.
And, I don't advertise, but what I do is I don't have a registered business or anything, and normally they pay cash. I throw them a price.
Shut up.
For whatever.
Yeah, you probably want to keep your mouth shut about that.
Yeah, don't say that on here. Don't say that on here.
Aaron, listen, no, Aaron, listen to me. For real, shut up. On the real, like, don't talk like that. Seriously, don't.
I trade labor for Fed notes. That's what I do.
Don't say that shit.
That's all I do, Sean. That's it.
Shut up. And we're helping you, so shut up. Jesus Christ. Oh, you are a special one. Jeez, man. Make me want to fucking just...
Don't get that twisted. I don't go to like old ladies' houses and do that.
I know, you don't get it. I know.
Trade labor for Fed notes. Fuck that.
You know what? You're on your own, buddy.
Aaron, you don't get it. Yeah, you don't get it.
Sean Smith, tell me what did I say interesting? What was interesting?
There's a 3-letter word that starts with T that it's involved in this.
What, Terry? What?
Yeah, there's a 3-letter word that starts with T that's involved in this, and it's not about a cup of tea.
Actually, there's a 3-letter word that starts with I that's involved with this.
That too, yeah. Oh well, for us it's T, but for you guys it'd be I.
I don't get it.
I know. For the first time, he's not trolling.
You talking about IRS?
Jesus Christ.
No.
We're trying to be obscure here.
Yeah, what do you guys call it? The tax something over there in Australia?
It's the Australian Tax Office, ATO.
The ATO? Yeah.
If we were working, if we didn't own a business, as long as we've got an ABN, we're right.
Yeah, because you're all employed. I get it.
No. If you own your own business, you have to have an ABN, which is an Australian business number, which is used for tax purposes.
Yeah, but here you don't. You can run your own business without a tax number.
What protects you?
Oh no!
What protects me is my liability. I don't source.
Do you have insurance? Do you have insurance?
100% me. Yes. I don't source
Do you
out
have
limited.
indemnity insurance?
I don't source out limited liability insurance. I don't act under some limited liability scheme like you fucking fakes do.
So if you hurt someone because of your work,
I'm
are you
100%
covered?
liable. I'm 100% liable on the spot.
You realize you can go to jail for that, right?
I can be hung for that. Absolutely.
They don't hang people anymore,
That's
Aaron.
what's called full liability. Right? You guys act under limited liability.
Well,
I don't.
they do hang people still. If you steal a horse in Texas, they can still hang you.
Basically, going to jail forever, Sean, is being hung. So I act under that premise that yes, if I make a mistake, if I hurt somebody, I act under my liability. I don't ask for an insurance company to come save me and pay off somebody so I can keep.
It's not about you. It's about the person you injure and their family.
Hey, eye for an eye. If I hurt somebody, hurt me back.
Yeah, that's why.
My God.
Yeah, that's why. Oh, Jesus Christ!
So I'll just put it to you this way, Aaron. Okay, directional drill company decided that they were going to shoot a new conduit in underneath an intersection, and they hit one of my water lines under the intersection. So we had to tear up the intersection to repair the water line, and also we're going to have to replace about 200 feet of asphalt on a DOT road. Now, the insurance company will pay for that. You will not be able to pay for that.
Sean, I don't operate drilling rigs under public utilities, public right-of-ways, residential
Are you telling me? Have you ever
service crews?
Have you ever had to find a gas line? You ever find a gas line? Have you ever?
I always get locates first. Get locates first. Yes, I've dug next to gas.
Okay, what happens if something happens and you pop it and it explodes and you kill people?
I get a locate first. That puts all the onus on the locator, not me.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
does.
No. Not if you're the one who hits it.
Yeah.
Within 3 feet. If their flag is still sitting on the ground.
No. Hold on. It's not 3 feet. It's
like
not
I've
3
never
feet.
Excavated before. Come on.
It's not 3 feet. It's 3 feet from the mark. If he's 3 feet off the mark, if he's 3 feet, or you're within 3 feet of that mark, you're supposed to hand dig to make sure that you see that line.
Looking for tape.
Wow.
Then,
Sean, what do you think?
Then hold on. Then after that, if you're continuing and following that line along, you're required to hand dig along that line as well.
And Aaron, guess what? And I'm guilty of it. We don't stop. We get as close as we can. We have to strike that tape, or else, right, Aaron? You're not supposed to.
We're looking for it. We're looking for the tape.
No, if I can slide that tape over a rock, it's a good day. But guess what we do? We know it's a foot, so we go into the 6. That isn't, and the reason we do that is because normally, like for instance, when I'm working for a company, it's not on me. So I do stupid shit. That's stupid shit. That's dumb shit right there.
Exactly.
Because
that's
you don't
kind of
work
my
for,
point.
and because you don't work for a country for a company. If you do tag that line, you're screwed.
I'm super careful. That's right. I'm super careful. I have the experience. I've worked for big companies like you, and we get crazy, right? We're just like, oh, it ain't there yet, right? You know, it ain't right there, and we take that next scoop and fuck.
Shit happens.
Okay? But it's not on us. It's not on
Aaron. Aaron, if you are operating the machinery and you cause the problem, the onus is on you.
Oh yeah. You get fired. But Aaron, you 100%. as an owner operator, it's all on you.
Yeah, right now it is. That's right. That's why I don't act like I own my own company like I used to work as an employee for a company. Right now, I jump out. I'll dig 1 foot into the ground before I take that next swipe. Right? I'll jump out. I'll take that swipe. Okay, no pipe. I'll dig 1 foot in. I'm working for myself. I'm making very good money doing it. Why not jump off? I'm not lazy. And so that's how we would do it, Sean. If you were working for yourself, you'd do the same thing. You know, you wouldn't, especially when all fucking liability is on you. I'm digging next to fiber optics, gas lines, city mains, all that stuff. But I know how to do it, right? We know how not
Aaron,
to get
do you know what happens? Do you know what happens if you break a fiber optic line?
It's a $50,000 fine just to show up.
Do you know what happens if you break a fiber optic line?
I've never done it. I've exposed many of them, but I've never broke one.
If you break it, they have to replace the entire length.
From here,
No, that's not always true. But
yeah. I mean, come on.
that's not always true. But they
No,
usually
but they can't.
do.
They can't just patch up the gap.
No, they'll splice it. They'll splice it together. They actually have trucks that come in to splice it.
They do. They do have fiber optic splices here in the States. Maybe not in Australia because you're behind. But yeah.
In the future, actually. That was kind of funny, but they're in the future.
Yeah. All right, Aaron. We'll stop selling you the uranium that you use then.
Yeah, they actually fuse it together.
Power.
It's pretty cool.
It's
pretty cool how they do it.
Yeah, we'll take back our black boxes.
And by the way, you should stop selling uranium to China, not the U.S.
You can take your Crocodile Dundee back.
Why? But that's unfair, Aaron. Why should you have nukes and nobody else?
Why don't you have them?
How do you know we don't?
We don't need them, do we?
Nobody would ever attack Australia.
We have non-aggression pact with China, so yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna hold up.
Yeah, as long as our free trade agreement holds up, of course it will.
You know how China invades people?
No.
Go to go to Sydney, go to all the big cities, and just
Aaron,
look
have you been here?
how many Chinese people
Have you
there
been
are.
here?
They invade with population. They don't invade with bombs, by the way. Okay, they invade with population. Just
hang on. You just told me to worry about selling uranium to China, and then tell me they don't use bombs to invade.
That's right, because
your reasoning is stupid right there.
As soon as Australia offends one Chinese person, guess what's going to happen?
You realize we offend Chinese people all the time in this country, right?
Ooh, that's why you're always on the news. That's why you're always on Chinese news.
Talking about.
Yeah,
we're talking about stuff that you don't know about, Sean.
I know. That's why I'm asking. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's a good reason to ask a question, huh? Yep. Sorry, Aaron.
Actually, it is. We're talking about stuff you don't know about. Why'd you ask that? Because you don't know. Well, then why?
You're so used to trolling, you don't see like you realize when we're being serious.
Davros is trolling me real hard when we're not even talking about that. We're talking about excavating, and then all of a sudden we move to uranium sales from China to the U.S.
Actually, you did.
Right? That's what Davros.
Actually, you brought that up. You brought that up, Aaron.
Yeah. Davros brought it up. Davros.
No, he said he would stop selling the uranium to us. That's what he said.
Sean Smith. No. I don't care about uranium.
Yes.
Never thought about it.
But that's what makes your bombs.
Yeah, Davros, you brought it up, right?
Oh my God, Aaron, do you have short-term memory loss?
Can't answer.
Yes, he does.
You can't answer.
What'd you say?
Exactly.
So, anyways, back to the Sean's next show. Maybe the possible Freedom Show, whenever it may be.
Why are you
there is a difference. There is a difference between acting under insurance and limited liability, where I could hurt somebody, I could kill somebody, and still not go to jail, still not lose my business. I'd be sued, but only the business would take the repercussions, right?
Yeah, but you're not legit
enough.
enough.
I do business acting under my own full liability, meaning that under agreement with the customer. And remember, I'm small time. I don't do real big stuff, but I do dig across certain utilities as long as they're located, and I maintain that liability, saying,
You
"Hey,
contain that good luck." Continue.
Sorry,
That's all you're working with. Continue.
No, it pays well. Fine.
Yeah. Hurt somebody. See how much you have to pay.
I'm not. That's my plan. Is not to hurt nobody. My plan is to be very safe and secure, Sean.
So are you telling me every accident in construction
Aaron,
is on purpose?
Yeah. Do you know it doesn't matter how careful you are, an accident is always imminent.
Accident is always a accident.
Doesn't matter how well prepared you think you are, an accident will always happen.
Ask your parents.
You better be careful next time you drive to the doctor's office, because 99% of accidents happen on the road.
Did you just threaten him?
Go.
Damn.
I think you need to do some bloody research on that fucking statistic. More accidents happen around the home than anywhere else.
On the home? What do you mean?
Accidents in general more happen around the house than anywhere else.
You're wearing a plaster because you dropped a knife on your foot? Is that why?
Oh my god, Aaron, you are being a fucking idiot right now.
Aaron,
do what I do and stop listening.
Aaron, to go back. I do want to ask you a couple questions. After you call in for your locate tickets, do you check the positive response from all the utilities?
No. I rely on their report, and I only dig within their allowed tolerance.
No. The positive response that all the utilities send back to you.
I don't have to. That's what the customer has to do. I don't have to. The customer.
No. You're the one doing the digging. The customer has nothing to do with that.
I don't call.
You call in a ticket.
Sean, he can't.
That's right.
Because he has the customer calling in.
Only the property owner. The property owner does that, not me.
No.
It's your job, but you can't because
that's your job.
To screw yourself.
No. I dig mostly, Sean. Sorry, Sean. I dig mostly on private property.
Doesn't matter.
That really doesn't matter. If you're the one doing the digging, you need to have a ticket.
No. I don't go in unless there has been a locate.
Okay. Again, do you check the positive response from every utility when you call in a ticket?
No, I put that liability.
No, you're putting the liability on someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So
the property owner. Yeah.
So when you hit a utility, the utility is going to say, "Do you have a locate ticket?" And you're going to say, "No."
And they're not going to look at me because they're going to ask who owns the property, who called the test.
That's not how it goes.
They're going to ask the operator.
No, hold on. This is what I do for a living. Aaron, that's not how it goes. Okay? They're going to say, who damaged the utility? You're going to say, you. Then they're going to ask, do you have a locate ticket? And you're going to say, no. And they're going to take you to jail.
Go to jail, baby. 811 before you dig.
That's 100% what will happen. And they don't play.
No. Not on private property.
On private property.
No. Yep. On public property.
That's a public utility. That is a public utility. That is a public utility, and it's covered under the law.
And that is why it's like that, for that reason.
Yeah, nobody's going to jail.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that they will take you to jail if you hit a gas line out there that blows up a neighborhood. You're going to jail.
It's literally how they keep people. No, Aaron, it's how they keep people from doing their own gas lines without telling them.
Exactly.
They made it a very big penalty for that reason. It is actually a penalty they will not back off from.
There's a difference, Sean, from main line to meter, and then meter to
anything that goes into anything that goes to their system.
The meter is at the demarcation.
Yeah.
There's a difference from meter to structure. Okay. And
There
so
is, there
metered
is, but you
structure.
cannot determine the size of that line until you see it. Now, some businesses do have a larger amount of gas that leads to their property.
I
Now,
only see
there
it
is
when I
also
expose
easements.
it.
Hold
Sean.
on. There is also easements where those utilities run through private property that are not going to be part of that single line that feed to that building.
Sure.
And those transmission lines like that are probably gonna, well, first off, usually when you hit those, you won't have to worry because you'll probably be dead.
No, you won't. No, the gas line.
Okay.
There's not much pressure in the gas.
No.
He was
Are you
talking about
freaking
an
kidding me?
electric line.
No. No. Are you kidding me? A transmission line?
No.
Do you know how many pounds? Do you know how many pounds?
After the meter.
I'm telling you that there are transmission lines that lead through
3
private
PSI.
property.
There's only 3 PSI in a natural gas
you're not
line
listening. You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying. There are transmission lines that lead through private property that you could hit. Those lines have 600 pounds of pressure running through them.
And how deep are they usually?
I don't know. You're gonna have to dig it up to find out.
What's the standard
And by the
depth?
time
What's
when
standard
you're
depth for
there
a high
digging it up,
transmission pressure line, Sean.
when you're there digging it up, you're gonna have the gas people there while you're digging it up.
I can tell you right now. I
going to
dug
say-
up. I can tell you right now. I had to find a gas line that had 800 pounds of pressure through it at an intersection in the middle of San Marcos, San Diego, and it was only 6.5 feet deep, and it had 800 pounds. I'm telling you right now, Aaron, if that were to go, that would have taken out 6 blocks in every direction.
It doesn't blow up, first of all, but yes, I know what you mean, Sean. I know what you mean.
No, they do
And
blow
second
up.
of all, Sean, you are exactly right. When we're doing public
up.
digging, like Sean G just said, there are 50 gas people standing around, whether it's NorCal gas or whatever you guys call it in California. We call it God damn it, what's our gas company here? Anyway, there's guys always standing around. Okay, they're the ones doing the locating. I mean, there's a locate there. You just dig next to it. They're the ones doing the shoveling because they want to know where the line is.
No.
But I don't do that. Listen, I don't do that.
Representatives of their company that they did their job. That's all they are.
Yeah. But I don't dig up public gas works. That's not what I do. Okay.
You're still not listening to what I'm saying. There are transmission lines that run through private property.
Yes.
They're
and those
demarcated.
are clearly marked. Those are
Not all the
marked
time
here.
because you haven't verified that they are.
I'm trying to find it right now. I'm trying to
What
find
do you mean?
some. Hey,
What do you
Aaron,
mean?
Aaron, what I'm doing right now is trying to find a job that I was on, and I took a bunch of pictures. I wasn't excavating. I was grade checking for the guy for trenching while I was trenching and helping him navigate. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. But the statement you just said about you trust the markings and all that stuff, I'm going to show you exactly why that is a bad idea.
I never said I trust the marking. I dig next to it.
No, you said you trusted it.
You
said it's marked.
No, I never say I trust the mark.
You trusted that it was marked.
You did so. You did so. You said you trust the mark that is located without checking tickets.
Listen. It's a reference. I said within 3 feet on either side of that fucking mark.
No.
You're not listening to what we're saying though. This is what we're saying. Do you check whether or not everybody has located that stuff?
It's what I do, Sean. I don't have to. It's on the caller. It's on the one who wants the
Sean,
digging
Aaron,
done.
you're not paying attention.
No, he's not going to get it. He's not going to get it at all. You don't understand, Aaron.
Listen, I'm not doing public digging, Sean.
Look,
I'm not.
What you do?
I'm not going under the rope.
What you do, Aaron, is the way you do it because of the fact that you You make it that way. How do I know? Because I've ran not legit, and that's how you have to go. You tell them, nope, yeah, you got to do it. If you want me to come out there, you got to do this, this, and this, and this. And guess what? When shit hits the fan, it's not going to help you.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
No, because look, you just got to telling us. You just got to telling us your plan is never fuck up, which means you don't know shit.
I've broken a 50 pair. I've broken a 50 pair phone line.
And
right, caught it. It was unmarked. I broken it. Guess who paid? Frontier showed up. The phone company showed up. Said who hit that? Said I did.
Wait.
Well,
how'd you hit it? You just told Sean that doesn't happen.
How'd you hit it? No. I said.
Wait.
They said how'd you hit it? And I said, well, I'm digging a trench for this guy. And the homeowner came out and said, I didn't call. Guess who had to pay $20,000?
You're not getting it. He's saying with the correct steps, you are in that link. You're in the chain of getting in trouble. Because that homeowner didn't do anything, that's why he got in trouble. Because he didn't even report that he was doing it. Why? Because he probably had you. And you can't say, hey, I got some random guy coming out here doing some shit with no license. Asshole. If I
was doing anonymous digging in the public right of way, just anonymous digging, even for a homeowner, I could have been held liable. But I was on the homeowner's property. I did not have a contract with the homeowner, but I told him clearly before, get locates. He did not do it. The 50 pair was only about 3 feet deep. We were tearing out trees. It got caught in the root, broke the pair. And the homeowner came out, and without causing an argument, because he could have said, well, I don't know what this guy's doing on my property, digging up trees. He could have said that. But that wouldn't have made sense. So the homeowner fucking ate the bill. $20,000.
So, Aaron, where does the right-of-way end?
Well, they're clearly demarked. On GIS surveys, you can find them where the property line is, actually.
Okay.
The public
so that's the public right of way. What about a private easement for a utility?
That would still be a public easement for a utility.
No. It's a private easement
it depends.
for one utility.
Just so you understand, my father actually lived on a mountain in SGD, our electric company's easement ran right through his property. The telephone lines and everything.
Yeah. That's what I was just trying to say to Sean Smith is it depends on the company, whether it's a private utility provider like we have here in Texas. Private utility providers here in Texas.
Doesn't work
Other
that way.
states don't, Sean.
It doesn't work that way.
That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. There are utility easements that other utilities will set in that they bought that piece of property from the original homeowner or the original property owner. Now, if that property has changed hands, the new owner may not even know about it. It may be on their survey, but they still may not know about it.
It's on the deed.
No, it's not. No, it's not because my dad
it's
also
not
had,
on the deed.
He also had a contract with AT&T to put up those
it depends on how old the
tree
deed
towers,
is, how old
the tree towers,
is.
and that means, and also he had to do another deal with AT&T because they had done a previous deal with the homeowners before it, and no, they're not on the deeds. Matter of fact, if AT&T doesn't have to tell you, they won't say shit because they actually do have to pay you monthly if they put it on your land, but it is not.
Then you can't be held liable for digging through it if it's unknown.
They can sue you for it.
They can still sue you for it.
They have no case.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, they will.
What's their case?
The case that
you should have known. Is that their case? You should have known.
No, AT&T will send a bill automatically.
Yeah.
They send a bill automatically.
They're not stupid.
They don't care
how it works.
First of all, most old property AT&T lines are overhead. Just so you know, they're not.
Are you kidding me?
What the hell are you talking about?
Old property.
Say that again. Say what you just said again.
Pre-deed. You guys are saying like there's no public easement, notification on the deed.
You know these fiber, yeah, like they're
of AT&T lines or anything going through there.
The past
I mean,
25, 30 years, Aaron, they've been trying to get all those towers out of the sky, and they've been using fiber optics. There's a lot of shit in the ground now.
Well, then they also put fiber optic notification buoys, towers, little plastic things, every fucking 100 feet, Sean.
They just
really
Aaron,
Dude.
Aaron, there are paper cables in the ground that are from the 1940s.
Okay, where, Sean Smith? Where?
Sometimes
all
you don't
over
know.
the place.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to find the pictures right now, Aaron. Because I'm trying to find my pictures from work, so I can show you that you're just completely wrong in your understanding of how it works. I'll find it. Keep going. I'm about to get this location of them because.
Sean, you find it. I'm going to talk to Sean Smith a little bit.
Okay, you go ahead, buddy. Thanks for letting me know.
I mean, well, if you want to, go find it. But Sean Smith, listen. Every part of business is about shedding liability.
What the fuck?
Every part.
Wow, you're a dick. You're an asshole.
It is.
No, it's not.
Okay, wait, hold on. Before you go any further,
maximizing profits. That's all it's about.
Before you go any further, you've already stated that the liability is on you.
That's I'm exactly. I'm going to maintain full liability.
You're going to maintain full liability. So when you hit something in the ground and it's your fault because you didn't call in a locate ticket, are you going to continue to say, well, the liability's all on me?
Or are
you going to put that on the homeowner?
It depends who I have a contract with, Sean Smith, right?
See, now that's the wrong answer because you just said that you just said, hold on, you just said that you take the liability for what you do.
The subcontractor is never liable as long as he is confident when he moves in that all precautions have been taken.
Really?
As long as confident that all precautions have been taken. If I'm happy that the gas line, water line, sewer line, electric line, communication lines, and one more, let's say fiber, are all been located. If I'm going to dig in an area that is concerned with that, if I'm happy with that, and they have been located, I'm going to dig.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to hit something one day because a good operator
I can guarantee it.
I've came across so many gas lines, water lines, AT&T phone lines. There's
public easement.
There's a feeling that you get right before something that just isn't right. If you're a good operator, you feel it. But I'm not just gonna dig around anywhere trusting what anyone tells me. Because guess what? I've worked in a place called National City here in San Diego. It's one of the communities that were around 100 years ago, and I'm gonna show you what I'm about to show you is a job site we were on. We were digging, we're doing the line for water, and then we had to end up having to do a spider web of trenching and shoring because we just kept running into unexpected gas lines, water lines that nobody, gas, electric, no one knew what the fuck those lines were. Why? Because people were doing that back in the day, and that's what you got to look out for.
Yeah. Unknown. Yeah. When I was city digging in Seattle, and we'd go down 130 feet.
Cities do it too.
We'd go down 130 feet. Guess how many fucking random pipes we ran into that were still live, actually, that nobody knew about. Absolutely. How many did we break? Yeah, you break a few. You fix them.
I've never
or you reroute them.
I've ripped into one gas line in my whole life on Camp Pendleton, and I got 60 feet away from it, turned around, and I was like, uh-oh. That was the last time that was the first time I ever heard the whistle.
Yeah, but that's commercial.
Sorry to interrupt, guys.
Hey,
I got this question I've been meaning to ask Dabros for a while. It's just going to take 5 minutes. It's completely...
Go ahead, no worries.
It's completely
anything
unrelated
away from this conversation.
Doesn't really matter. Trust me, anything that will stop Aaron from talking.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not trying to stop the conversation. I was curious about something Davros said. So I'm just going to share an image in the chat if he's still here. Just hang on one sec. I don't know if he's still here, but I just posted this image in the chat. And basically what he was saying was that he gets longer night times. He gets longer amounts of daylight in the summertime in Australia versus us guys in America when it's wintertime. So like when it's wintertime here, they have summer there and they have longer daytimes. Is that correct?
Yes, I get 6 hours of night on the 22nd of December.
6 hours of night, meaning you get longer days.
Yes, that means it's almost an 18-hour day.
And you said that this can't work on a flat Earth?
Not possible, because it can also be seen in Chile and South Africa.
Chile and South Africa. So based on the image
they can
that I
see the
just
sun at the same time as me.
Right. I'm not disputing that, but based on the image that I just posted, I don't know if you're looking at it. I don't particularly subscribe to this model, but do you understand how the sun moves in this particular model?
But here's a question. How does the night curve around that sun?
Well, you haven't answered my first question yet.
No, I need this for clarification. How does the night move around that sun?
You mean the circle of darkness that's around that sun? How does that move around it?
Yeah. How does that happen? Because we know that light from a sun can travel a bit further than what's predicted on that picture.
We also have the Terminator line covers half the Earth at all times.
The amount of distance that that light's going to travel, what is that based on? The size or the distance?
The area that the...
Okay, so...
The pattern that you're showing doesn't match reality is what we're saying.
I like this
How does it not match reality?
It's been confirmed.
Don't let Carlos talk. Chris, keep going.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to answer my question. What?
Yeah, I'm going to need clarification on. I need clarification on what the sun is, how far away it is, and what it's made of.
I'm not here to make assertions about what the sun is.
Okay, so my sun is 150 million kilometers away. Okay, and it puts sun onto half the planet at a time.
Why would you have a 90-degree Terminator line on a spherical ball?
It's not 90.
It's not.
It's tangential.
Explain what you mean by tangential.
It's a straight line.
So that's 90 degrees, isn't it?
Sounds like it.
What is that?
That's not me. I don't know what's going on.
Brian's tasering somebody.
That's Aaron. That's Aaron being tased by the police, but because of hitting lines.
That was funny.
Don't tase me, bro.
You're welcome. That's what you get for not calling 811. Dang it.
Hands up! Hands up!
Yeah, Davros. Wouldn't the
shovel down?
Wouldn't the circle of darkness on the AE map be exactly the same on a sphere?
Hang on.
No. Because if you have a light source that's been shown on an object, you're gonna have a spherical light with darkness around it.
Actually, okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask Carlos whether or not he can get that light to shine on Santiago, Chile, Johannesburg in South Africa, and Adelaide, Australia.
No, he can't.
Well, he can do that because he's manipulating the distance and the size of, not really the size, but the distance of the light. So he can easily do that. And we've already established that we don't know what the distance of the sun is or what the size is.
But I do know. You might not, but I know how far away it is.
How do you know?
Because people have measured the damn thing, Aaron.
Okay, so somebody told me. So instead of the nuh-uh, you go uh-huh.
But Aaron, this is the same as you trusting to dig somewhere.
You still haven't answered my first question, Davros, when I asked if you know how the sun moves on that particular model that I showed you. Do you know how it moves?
I just told you it cannot do it because it cannot produce the sun in Chile and South Africa at the same time as I see it at noon.
That's not answering my question. That's just you saying what you think it can't do. Do you
But
know
I-
how the sun
actually,
I know
moves?
that it
if you're
can't do
looking
it.
if you're looking at this map, then no, it's not doing it.
Chris,
I'm
go
just
ahead.
asking if you know how the sun moves on this particular model. I'm not asking if it works or what you think. I just want to know if you know how it moves on this model.
I'm going to tell you, it doesn't work.
I can tell you, Chris. I can tell you
Right,
this.
so you don't want to answer the
No,
question.
Chris. I can tell you.
you.
No, Chris. I can tell you. The problem is with that map. The one that you were showing is that if it's that way, because I'm showing people on YouTube, so they know what we're looking at. If it was if it happened this way, we would have to explain how the sun then moves in and out of the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn throughout the year without us seeing a noticeable change.
Right, and which time periods does the sun move through the tropics of Capricorn?
That's the difference between our summer and our winter in the northern hemisphere versus
the solstice.
Yeah, between digitals.
Christmas September and September and March. Yeah, around then.
Okay, so this particular map doesn't.
I just noticed it, Chris, where it says 10 hours of daylight, 8 hours of daylight, 4 hours of daylight. That would have to be fluctuating throughout the year because it does fluctuate throughout the year.
Right, but also on this particular model, the sun doesn't maintain the same latitude. It moves closer towards the north. I think during the summertime, and it moves further away towards the south.
That's what I'm trying to explain. We don't see that, and if it did, when it got closer to the north, it would literally be going. It'd have to slow way down, or when it got to the Capricorn, it had to speed way up, and we don't see that at all.
Yeah, we do. It's called 24 hours of rotation.
Now think about that.
I have a question.
I have a question. Hang on. It takes 24 hours in a day, right? And then you can verify that with your solar noon, with your
sun,
with your solar noon, right? Right, Aaron?
Of rotation of the sun.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, when you do that, if it was speeding up or slowing down, you would notice that. And then we don't notice that. And the reason our sunset and our sunrises are changed is because of the sun's azimuth. It can only cover so much.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question, Sean?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, if the sun is slowing down or speeding up, those concentric circles that are radiating from the north get larger when you move closer to the south. So if it is speeding up, it's traveling a further distance when you go along the south. So how would you be able to tell if it's speeding up if it has to travel a further distance? If you understand what I mean.
Yeah, it would take longer than 24 hours. So at some point in the year, our 24-hour days would either be 24. Would have to be like a day shorter. Like the hours would shorten or become longer. But it would have to be. It would only be 24 hours on the solstice.
Also, the sun will move faster across the sky. It won't be 15 degrees.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But if it's traveling a further distance and it's moving faster, how would you be able to tell if it's traveling along a larger concentric circle
because
versus it being closer to
across the sky?
Yeah. That 15.
But it's traveling a further distance.
Yeah, exactly.
It would move faster.
It would have to move faster to give us the same observation that we get. That's the thing. In this model that you're showing us, it has to change, but we don't see that change.
Right. And what is that based on when you say that you don't see the sun moving faster? When people in Australia have their summertime, do they have they calibrated the speed that the sun is traversing in the sky?
Yeah, he just told you.
Still takes 24 hours.
It takes 20. Okay, so you know your solar noon is, right? Like your solar noon. If you time how long it takes, that's how we know how fast everything's going on. And the 93 million miles and Earth's circumference, like it all works, not because of some Masonic reasoning. It's because it works because that's the distance that everything is, and that's what it would take for that to do that. But to be more specific, the reason we know it doesn't, because what Carl said, that the 1 or 15 degrees an hour, it would have, if it was like this model showing us, and it was in the south, because it's, that's their summer, it would have to travel a lot faster to cover the same ground that we observe, which means it has to speed up, and we don't see that.
How do you know that it's not speeding up?
Because in Australia, they would see a sun zipping across their skies, as we saw a sun that's supposedly still doing the 15 degrees an hour. We would see that. We would see that, but in Australia, they would watch the sun zip across their sky because their reference point is right under it.
Chris,
how much speed would it?
Chris, I'm going to make a point, and then you can bank on it. So Sean G, in your elliptical model of the globe, heliocentral model, the Earth travels around in this, what we call the ecliptic, right? And it goes around, and it shoots around real quick and goes way far away from the sun. Then it comes right back and it shoots around real fucking quick. So how do you not differentiate that between what me and Chris are saying, that the sun may do the same thing but local?
Because on a daily basis it doesn't.
It takes a whole year for the Earth to do
it's a yearly thing.
orbit.
It's a yearly thing, but everyday observations, they don't change on that model. Like he's showing us, it doesn't change in that way.
And when you say that the sun would need to be zipping past the sky, how much speed would it need to increase when it's in the north versus when it's closer to the south?
It's not measured
that much of a drastic increase?
Angles.
I wouldn't know, to tell you the truth.
Well, Chris, we would have to know the distance that the sun is away from the Earth on that map.
Chris, I agree. It's called the elliptical model of the Earth.
Matter of fact, here's actually we actually can then, because here's the thing: if in Australia it takes 24 hours to go around, then we just have to go at that longitude and see how long it takes to cross that longitude versus the other one. The problem is it doesn't.
I agree.
It because it's supposed to be so local. Man, we're talking astronomical speeds to be doing that kind of stuff.
I think the elliptical model works better, like what Chris is saying, whether if it's closer and.
No, because if it's close, okay, a car going 100 miles an hour past your 2 feet in front of you looks really fast. But a car doing 100 miles, if a car if a car does 100 miles an hour 50 feet or 200 feet from you, it looks a lot slower. Same situation. Mm-hmm. The same thing.
Another thing that you need to take into consideration with this particular map is that it's not accurate, especially along the southern edges, because when you take a globe and you flatten it out, like this has been done, the extremities tend to get warped and expanded, so stuff isn't really accurately mapped out. That's something you should also take into consideration.
But Chris,
do you know what happens if you put this flat map on a globe? You know what happens?
This was taken from a globe, Sean.
This one right here?
This is a globe flattened out.
Okay, then it will work on a globe itself.
No, he's talking about the patterns of the light of day and night.
Yeah. No, this is not. Yeah, if it was, it would be half the day. Half this would be light. This what they were asking about at the very beginning of the conversation is what makes light or what makes nighttime down 15 degrees off of South America.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're trying to say that the Terminator line is going to be a straight line on a ball, but that's also a problem.
But well, look,
it's not a problem. You don't understand geometry.
This is not a real thing. So, cause I always get those comments in the chat like that globe you showed wasn't real. I know, but it's a good depiction.
But yeah, Sean, if you shine a flashlight on like a ping pong ball,
Yep.
is it going to have like a perfectly straight Terminator line like that?
Yep.
Or is it going to be more spherical?
Demonstrate for you.
Exactly like that. Yeah, if someone has a ball, yeah, Carlos, if you can get something like, and show it right now, you can do it. 100%. All you, Carlos.
I don't think it would be perfectly straight though.
Yeah.
It would have some bendiness to it.
Yeah, watch.
Let me say this.
Okay, wait. So if there's any not a defined straight line, you're talking about then the like dusk. You know what I mean?
Let me say
astronomical twilight,
Thank
Sean.
you.
Astronomical twilight is what you're talking about.
Thank you, sir.
Let me say this: if Carlos does go get a ping pong ball and put a flashlight on it and demonstrate a Terminator line,
Are you look?
all he's doing,
Look! Shut up! Look, he's doing it.
all he's doing is demonstrating
How many light sources are on that
a
ball?
very close light source. It's very close. It's not far away. It's a close light.
Also, how many light sources are on that ball?
I think he just turned everything out. Carlos.
All he's demonstrating is a
stop.
close light
Aaron,
source.
stop. You said it already. Stop, please.
Trolling hard.
Stop.
Trolling hard. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
stop. So Carlos, if you can, you need only one light source, and then close.
Move it away.
And start
93
going,
million
Aaron,
miles.
shut up. And then Carlos, sorry, if your kids are in the area, sorry. Then start backing off the ball as if it was their son is now taking its distance.
All right, hang on. Let me do that because I actually have a flashlight and I can go back up. Hang on. Let me grab it.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
You have to also take into consideration that the walls in that room are reflecting a lot of that light.
Yep, I 100% agree.
If you have no idea how to differentiate from ambient light and directional light,
it's still
you would be having this conversation.
But what's gonna happen? I see what he's saying though, because what he's saying is that the albedo of the wall is going to deteriorate the Terminator line. But I think it'll still be defined enough that will be fine.
Right, because we don't have a wall right next to Earth. It's perfectly dark. So this is not completely analogous, but I do understand what he's trying to do.
So you can tell the difference between
you're way too close.
This shadow here, and then this is ambient light here. You can't tell the difference between that.
No, I can. That's good.
I can tell the difference.
You're good.
Okay, why the heck are you gonna bring this up?
Because for a second we couldn't see it at all.
I know. No, that's anyway. Hang on, let me move it a little bit closer to away from that. Sorry,
Carlos, just shut the lights off.
Well,
I have
that's the computer. That's the monitor.
But sure, the light goes past the ball. Remember.
Carlos' arm hair got stuck to the moon.
Your mama.
What Carlos showed right there was definitely a close light source next to a small ball.
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at how.
Okay,
close
so
he
how
is
far
right
away
now.
is the sun? How far away is your sun on that model?
Hang on.
Well,
I'm
hold
backing
on.
up on.
That's not also there's also the fact that you're talking about the amount of light coming from that flashlight. It may not be that bright of a flashlight. I'm just saying it could be brighter or less bright. The sun's pretty bright. I mean, it lights up the world.
What I'm saying, Sean Smith, is that Carlos showed a close light source next to a small ball, which kind of replicated exactly what we would see on, let's say, that
Earth.
light we see in the sky there, the moon there, the Earth, exactly. Yeah, a close light source. That's what Carlos showed. Thank you. That was badass.
He's showing.
So
way back, moron.
In fact, here's a good thing. If the further back he is, the more apparent it is, because see how that Terminator line becomes less defined?
Inverse square law, Sean. Come on.
Another interesting thing that I wanted to ask Carlos, since he's doing this demonstration, let's say there's someone standing to the left of you and another person standing to the right. Is that shadow going to look the same to each observer, or is it going to look different?
No, it's the same shadow, regardless of where you're looking at it.
Not the person that's holding the light. Let's say there are two people not holding any light, staring at that ball. Is it going to look the same?
Well,
what is your point?
Hold on. We're looking at it from a different angle right now. So does it look the same?
It's not. It's obviously not going to look the same to him as it does to us. The point that I'm making is that someone mentioned something about not being able to see the same phases of the moon on a flat Earth. But don't you have the same problem on a globe? If someone's standing on the west and another person standing on the east, wouldn't you see different phases of the moon since you're looking at different corners?
Nope. Parallax?
Explain how parallax would prevent that from happening.
Lack of parallax, because the moon is far away. It's not local.
Then why are you showing
How
this
does that change
demonstration,
anything?
Carlos?
How does that? the
You're
same reason.
still looking at it from different angles.
The
You're
same
looking
reason.
at it from different
Listen,
angles.
the same reason why if you look at a mountain that is 30 miles away and then you move about 100 feet to left or right, the features of the mountain don't change because it's lack of parallax. You have to move way longer distance.
That's how we know that's why
mountain.
Yeah, that's how we know it's not. That's how we know it's not local. We
See,
know it's far because
here's the thing, guys.
that.
Here's the thing, guys. This is a very simple concept, and you guys are hung up on this little simple concept, and then you guys want to argue with people that know what they're talking about.
Well,
simple.
And out of respect, Chris is he's very respectful. So at least let's be happy he's not like Nathan or any of the Nathans. I like Chris. He's at least
fair enough. I just want to point out that that's just something as simple.
I appreciate that, Sean.
No,
sorry, I don't mean to come across arrogant. I just get frustrated.
Well, the problem here is that a lot of you guys say that a lot of these things that you observe on the sphere are impossible on a flat plane. But when you start thinking about some of the reasons that you're giving for why we're not seeing it like that, why can't that be applied to a flat model as well? We don't know what the distance of the moon is, so wouldn't that just be the same thing? That if the moon is far and not local, we wouldn't
Carlos,
see.
I need you to do me a favor. Can you make the camera look at the flat Earth picture you have that sitting on?
Okay.
Can you now try to make half the light shine on that Earth? And scale is, I know scale is going to screw it up.
But the sun is not a flashlight. Come on.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's something that's not a flashlight.
Perfect. Now, the reason it won't work on a flat Earth is because we live on a sphere. Half the Earth doesn't get the light. On a flat Earth, you have to figure out how can half the Earth get light and the other half not get light.
It's only a circle.
Size and orientation.
Yeah, orientation of what?
Yeah, you can't make that light source half of that Earth. It's impossible.
Okay. What if Carlos was standing on a model that was the size of like a baseball stadium, and he had that same light shining in one section? Wouldn't he be able to light up individual sections of that model?
Yeah, but not half.
This is going over your head, man. Look, hang on. Let me just put it.
But you said that it's impossible to light sections of a flat plane.
Half.
Look,
half.
Well, it would be possible if you're able to manipulate the distance of the light as well as the size.
We can, Chris. We can verify that terminator line on a globe is where it is because I can tell you when it's night, when the sun sets at where I'm at, and you can tell me where the sun rises where you're at, and we can verify where that line is. On a flat Earth, it wouldn't work.
Chris, they're big scaling us. All they're doing is saying, well, it only works on big scale. You can
I'm
go
about to
small
tell you
scale, like Carlos's.
That's not
right?
That's not what we're saying at all. He's just showed it up. He just showed it on a small scale. He just showed you.
Yeah, that's what we're saying though. It's not a small scale. The flat Earth is not a small scale.
Yeah, it's not a small scale.
So wait, if
guys.
it doesn't work on a small scale, how is it going to work on a big scale?
That's
Because
what
the
Well,
lens-
you're working with a fixed model. You're not varying any. You're not manipulating anything. You're just working with a fixed model and saying since it doesn't work on this
No,
small model,
wait,
then it
we would
doesn't
only-
work.
He
we
was
would only-
manipulating something though.
And the thing is we would only have to
He didn't
manipulate it.
change the size of the model.
Look, we would only have to manipulate it when observations don't work.
He manipulated the distance from the light source as well to the model.
He didn't manipulate the size of the model.
Just did.
How did he?
Yeah,
how
my
did he
question-
change the
my
size
question
of
is-
the model?
That's a different
My
size
question
than the
is-
other one.
How does this local sun light up over 22,000 kilometers of distance?
The Terminator line.
For one, I don't know what the distance of the sun is or how much of Earth it illuminates to answer that question.
I just told you a way we can, though. I can tell you where my sunset is, and you can tell me where your sunrise is,
let him
and
speak.
do it that
Let
way.
him speak, Sean.
I am, Aaron. What are you talking about, man? Shut up.
Yeah, but that's based on your globe model, and
But it would have to base on your. It would be based on your model too, because those are our observations.
well, at the moment we currently don't have a model.
Oh, no.
We're still working on one.
But
so.
you got to remember, our observations are what makes the model. The data that we collect from our observations are what models are. So you're right. You need to make observations to construct a model. Now, if you put your observations onto your flat Earth, you would have to figure out a way for what you're observing to work on your idea, basically, at that point.
I completely agree with Sean 100% that a lot of the stuff that we observe does match the globe model, but it becomes problematic when you try and conflate globe Earth observations onto a flat model instead of just starting with a blank slate and saying you don't know what's going on.
But remember this. If you did that with a flat Earth, so if you said we live on a flat Earth and this is a flat Earth observation, and you would have to say, why doesn't it work on a globe? But you see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, our globe observations that we're saying work, but the reason they wouldn't work on a flat Earth is because that's not even what we're observing. You would have to have a flat Earth, an observation that doesn't work for the globe and would work for flat Earth. But then everything else has to then start going along with it. I mean, if you pinpoint, for instance, with the area that you can see around you, when you look around with just your eyes, yeah, that looks flat. Okay, that's your first observation. You put that down on number 1 on the list. From that observation, you start working your way out with tools and different optics and blah 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 blah. But no matter what, it all does still have to work. I mean, our globe.
Right. I
explanation
completely
for it
agree
is,
with that.
scale,
But the thing about the globe is that you guys have a lot of robust experiments that you've done over several years, and to say that it's impossible on a flat plane when all the experiments you've done are just on Hangouts, it's not equivalent. Like, you guys have done way more research, way more experiments on your model, and we're just starting out. So we need we need more time.
I refute that, Chris. You guys have had a flat mat for over 4,000 years.
Hey, hang on. Can I just show something real quick? So I had this globe. I had the light source pretty far away over there. Right? So you can tell here where there's light and there's dark, right? From that light source.
Yep.
You can tell that line, right? Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah, but that's not a perfect. That's not a perfectly straight line.
We see light
here in
Africa. So you can tell.
It's not a perfectly straight line, though.
Okay. Why?
Okay, hang on. Let me finish here.
Wait. How about this? I have an idea, Carlos.
We had light. What?
If I get my globe, remember that little CGI thing I have going?
Yes.
Let me see if I can get it lined up. What's your noon right now shining at?
Looks like it's Africa.
Okay,
looks like a lunar eclipse.
Let me see if I can
lunar
get the line up.
eclipse right there.
South Africa. So this is South Africa, and then you can see over here, Australia. It's getting
it looks like the sun's going down on me at the moment.
Yep, and then if you look over here,
and it looks like a lunar eclipse in the background, right? Yeah.
It's getting light also. So we got Africa with light. We have
I can see Carlos in the shadow. That's pretty
quiet. You can see Australia with light, and then you can see part of Chile and Argentina.
I'm trying to get
Actually,
my Australia. I don't know if I have enough time to get Australia
can,
going
can
here.
we all see that those three continents are getting light? Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
with their flashlight, yeah. And it's also lighting up the
Hey,
ground and
hey,
everything
hey!
else.
Look, that flashlight is way over there. Okay,
Yeah, I
it's
can't.
not close by. Hang on.
I'm 3 seconds less to getting to right where you are. So
Lunar eclipse.
The
Lunar
irony.
eclipse. I just saw it. Look,
The
there's
irony. Hang
Carlos.
on, Aaron, shut up. The irony here, you're complaining because the flashlight is only a few feet away. If it was further, the light will reach actually even further too. So it wouldn't help you. So all right, so we
Your
established between.
flashlight is
I
not
wasn't
sunlight,
complaining. I was
Carlos.
just saying that the way the light shines on the ball is pretty much similar to what you see on the AE map. It's a circular pattern.
I'm about to prove you wrong because we already established that we have light in Africa, Australia,
perfect,
and Chile. Okay, so now we come up here and we look at. I'm not going to say your map, but I am going to say your map.
it's a
So
flat
we
Earth
look at your
idea.
map.
Flat Earth idea.
So we have Australia, we have Africa, and we have Chile, right? So if I take a little flashlight here and I try to replicate that, what do you get? You get a circle just all around Africa.
Now go up. Go up until you can is what you got to do.
Like that.
Okay. Now that's not creating half a Terminator line. You're now shining way beyond what the Terminator line would show.
Exactly. All over, like all this area here.
Right, and we can
That's also a very small model that he's using.
You have to.
Regardless.
You have to if you want something to manipulate that variable that you're so engulfed with. That's how you manipulate it, by making by scaling it down so you can manipulate it.
Because if you want to do a circle around this, you start seeing that I will overlap over the North Pole.
So you're saying that a larger model wouldn't create different results if you had a larger model with that exact same light shining on it?
Not for this specific thing that we're demonstrating. No, it wouldn't help you at all.
No,
it would be different. It would be completely different than what you're saying.
Please
explain. It would be different because you'd be able to have localized light on a larger model. It wouldn't be illuminating the whole thing.
But look, here's the thing. By the time I lift this high enough to where you start getting light here and here, you start overlapping over the North Pole, which it didn't happen when I showed you earlier.
But that's just that small model. If you had a bigger model, the light would be more localized.
Geometry wouldn't let you. The geometry. Think about it.
Carlos,
wait. Hang on. I have an idea. Chris, will you be around tomorrow?
Maybe, probably. I don't know.
Because he's doing it on a very small scale right now. Tomorrow afternoon, I can double that size with my scale. And it doesn't matter the size. You're right. That's only one scale. Okay, let's go bigger so that you know what I mean. So if I get a beach ball that's a lot bigger than that, that's changing the variable. We're checking to see if the real sun creates the same Terminator line that Carlos was able to represent. That's how we verify those observations.
Look, if I put the camera on Australia here, I can see the darn sun anywhere.
Carlos, that's worthless. You're
wasting your time. Yes.
All right. Hang on, Carlos. I need to jump in here. Okay, until anyone in the flat Earth could give us a distance to the sun and the size of the damn sun, you can't keep going. That's not how close it is. That's not how far away it is. Until you can give us a distance and its size, we do what we can to accommodate you.
Yeah, guys. How far is
we can only explain what we observe and understand it as. If it's not what you agree with, it has to be explained on your idea.
How far away?
I'd just like to see it done on a larger model.
I agree. I see exactly what you're saying. But the idea is that as long as you do see the basics of it, and I know you do, Chris. Luckily I don't. You're not trolling. I know you don't do that. So take that. So when you see it on a bigger scale, I think of the fact that the flat Earth has to still work with observations, and that's the thing. Observations are more compelling than using these models because it's real time, it's real scale. You know what I mean? So the idea of finding out where someone's sunset, sunrise is, solar noons, and all that stuff, it will give you a better idea of it.
And that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to figure out how this works on a flat model. So I don't understand why Davros is making all these demands when I don't think he really understands how research and
it's not a demand. It's the fact.
Davros, hang on, stop. Okay, this is what's happening, and I exactly what's going on. So Chris is explaining he's running through his hypothesis with us right now. And Davros, you're kind of frustrated because you get asked this question a lot. Chris is asking, and I guarantee you, and here's the best part: if we ask him tomorrow about this, he'll say, "Okay, I'm not going to ask the same damn question, but I'm trying to figure this out." So it's a mix of regular, natural frustration mixed with not knowing if someone is being serious. He's being serious. So we can all just breathe
exactly
it out.
100%.
100%. I'm telling you, and this is like kind of why I like to run my streams this way, because I've always I've come across Chris a dozen times. We've talked evolution and all that stuff because I was a flat earther, but I didn't think the same way. So even when I wasn't a flat earther, we still had conversations, and he's a good dude. He's not, at no point do I ever feel like he's trolled anything. So.
Oh yeah, I'm not here to try to get you guys mad or anything. I'm actually here to have a discussion with you guys.
And you have to understand,
So
we have
Carlos,
Aaron here, so and we're all there. Everyone's on guard because Aaron's trolled up the panel.
So Carlos,
right?
Carlos, the size of that AE map is probably about 3/4 of the size of that globe. Is what I'm looking at.
So what?
I'm just looking at the scale size of it, and the fact that you were using the larger flashlight and you were getting that Terminator line on that, and then using a smaller light that's more localized, really shows how that Terminator line would happen on that map.
Let me ask you this, Sean Smith. What if you were to take a model that was, say, 10 times, not even 10 times, like 50 times larger than this one, and you were to use the same light and move it around that model, would you get the same effect or no?
No, you wouldn't get the same effect because it's a smaller light, but you would have to have more distance to be able to cover more surface area. You see what I'm saying? And then eventually it would get to the point where you would in order to on this map, in order to get all three of those continents into the light, you would have all the continents in the light.
Look,
it'd be like saying, Chris, it'd be like saying, how do you know the sun isn't a mile above you?
Because that's too close.
Yeah. Well, we've deduced that it had to be further away. So
look. Here's what I'm trying to say. In order for you to have light on all these 3 continents here, of course there's going to be a circular pattern how the light spreads, right? So by the time you have a circular pattern big enough to cover all these 3, that circle is going to come across the North Pole, right? Think about that. To be able to hit these 3, let's go back to my globe here, so you can see they overlap the North Pole, right? To be able to hit all those 3. Now, if we switch over to this, put it back to how I had it. Let's see. That's Africa. So you have Africa.
Basement facts coming to you from Carlos.
Listen, you have Australia being lit, right? And then you have Chile. But look here, the North Pole doesn't get any light at all because it's behind that Terminator light. See, look at that. See the Terminator light?
It looks lit up, Carlos. It looks lit up.
I see the line.
Turn this light off. Yeah, whatever.
I see the light. I see it.
There you go.
There you go.
See that? See how they...
What's the point that you're trying to make, that everything is lit up on the flat model?
where that terminator line is,
that pattern didn't match.
You'd have to create that, because we can verify that terminator line. You'd have to be able to do the same thing on a flat, but we're trying to figure out how to do that, and that's what he's trying to say.
Is it impossible to do that on a flat plane?
I just showed you
with the air, because see, here's the problem. We know that flat Earth ain't real. Chris knows it. Every flat earther knows that ain't the fucking one, because the distance between Australia and South America, period. It doesn't work like that. But even then, even if you got it closer, no matter how, even if you drew Australia anywhere in that gap where we thought it really was, so where your pinky is right now, put Australia.
See that pattern we saw was kind of like this.
Yeah,
like that.
If it was in that gap, it still wouldn't be able to create the same terminator. Okay.
Because you guys are obfuscating Chris's
No.
Yes,
Look, if you woke up at the crack of dawn and the second you had a sunrise, you called me and said, "Hey, it's so and so time, and this is what time that it's sunrise." You can make a line. You could put an X right where you are. When it happened to me, blah blah blah, and it would correlate with how the globe's terminator line works. Now, you would then go, okay, well, I don't think it's a globe, but I got to create a light source that will create a terminator line like me and Sean were able to make with our observations.
Sure, yeah, I agree with that, and that just hasn't been done yet. And the terminator line that Carlos has drawn there is not representational of the terminator line on Earth, because it's not a perfect like line going across. It has some curviness to it.
What? No.
Yeah, no, that's what he's saying.
There's a dusk. That dusk, you mean?
No, I'm talking about the line that he drew across.
Chris. No, that's it, Chris. That's exactly what Carlos is doing it for. He's showing you where the terminator line is on the globe on that flat map.
See?
Yeah, but he's drawn it as a straight line, and on the globe it's not a straight line.
He's showing you the terminator line on a globe on a flat map. So
I just remember, it's like this. All of this is light behind this line here, because remember, the South Pole was being lit up when I showed you. So that this line right here, all of this inside of here, this is darkness. So how the heck do you get that pattern from a light source up here?
Now you would then have to go, okay, well, we can on a globe, we can verify that terminator line that he's shown us is correct. Now, if we did it on a flat Earth, we would then have to try to verify where the light source would be, how it would be shining, but we know that we would have to explain it in this parameter, because that area would be being shined on either model. The observation doesn't change. The model would change.
It would have to be modeled. It would have to be modeled on the AE map to see whether it works or not.
No. You'd have to. No, see that thing. You wouldn't even have. You don't even need a map. You can have a blank piece of paper and start just hitting X's every. Like if you put your spot. Well, if I say I'm 100 miles from you, I put my X at my sunrise, and we do this for 2 years and get as many people as we can. We can make our own map based on just doing that. We don't have to even do it on a map, and it'll either come out, even if it's come out in a 2D. We do it on a 2D piece of paper. It's still not going to verify a flat Earth. It's going to verify a globe.
I mean, I'm not disputing that all of these observations do work on a globe, but it hasn't been modeled enough on a flat model to dispute it completely. I just feel like it hasn't.
We just did we just did the terminator line on a flat versus a globe, and we showed how it doesn't work. So I mean, you just watched how
but you guys did that. You guys did that in like 5 minutes. That's not a fair assessment. It takes time to do experiments. You don't just do them in 5 minutes.
That was a great brainstorm to go do it outside now.
Exactly. That's something that we need to take time on. We don't just do experiments in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, no. That's not what, Chris. I'm not saying F you, flat Earth is dead because Carlos just showed us on his print. No. I'm just saying that's exactly how we verify or we come to the conclusions that we come to of our observations. So now it's down to the drawing board, but at least we have an idea, a construct of what's happening in observations on a smaller scale that we can control. Because remember that variable you want to change, the smaller scale you make the observation, the easier it is to manipulate it. It's easier to change more things and have more involved to it.
So far, the only things that we did manipulate in Carlos's test was the distance of the light. We didn't change the size of the light or the size of the model. The only things we manipulated was the distance.
Well, we had two Earths,
Well,
but
hang on.
Yeah,
Let me ask this: How was that going to affect on the result? How would me increasing the size of the light going to affect it? In which way?
So you're saying if we change the size of the model as well as the size of the light, we're not going to see any difference. It's going to look exactly the same as what you showed us.
What I'm telling you is that, let's say I would have gotten a light source bigger than what I had. All it would have done is cover more area of the globe.
So that's not a difference or change.
It would go against you what you're trying to say.
It would, but that's still a change. That's still a different representation than what you're saying. You're just looking at it from one dimension.
Hey guys, I hate to do it, but I'm going to go ahead and do the 10-minute warning.
But here's the thing. At this point, if we're not doing any orbiting or anything, if we're just trying to figure out the terminal lines with the size model I have, all you really have to get right is the angular size of what the sun would be at, in this scale, which would be, I can't remember what the actual angular size of the sun is, and even then, I mean, it's gonna have a very little difference. Like I said, if I were to get the size right of the sun or whatever, it actually would have covered a lot more of my globe.
The way that particular model you have is set up is it doesn't matter. It's just the light is always going to cover the entire model just based on the size.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to increase the size of the model.
No. No. Look. Never mind. This is.
It is. You just demonstrated that with the light you're using and the size of the model, it's always going to cover.
Right. He's right, because here's the thing: even if you from Carlos's scale to real world scale, it still has to work the same. No matter the scale of the model, it has to still work.
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if I make a 50-foot diameter flat Earth model in my backyard. The pattern of the light dispersion is still going to be circular, and it will not match reality, because I just showed you. If you were to have the same pattern I was getting on the globe mapped on that flat Earth map, it would have been not a circular shape. It was a odd shape as I showed you. So it doesn't matter.
You do get a circular light on a ball as well.
No. Once I get a circular pattern. I guess you could call it that. But the terminator lines that I get on the globe match observations in reality. If I were to take a light over the AE map, it doesn't matter what size the AE map it is. The light's always going to disperse in a circular, a circular shape, and you're never going to get those terminator lines to match with that. That's what I'm telling you.
Have you modeled that to verify that?
Chris, you gotta remember this. You're not the variables that you're talking about changing. You're not changing the observation that you made. You're changing what could make your observation change, but you're literally trying to get as close to an understanding of what you're observing, not why you think it could be different. It's modeling what you observe, basically. So it's not so
right, but we also haven't verified that it's impossible to do that same effect. We haven't verified that 100%.
Dude, do you agree that the light disperses circularly or spherically into a circular pattern? Do you agree with that?
On which model?
On reality.
Remember,
but we have to use a model for reference.
No, you don't.
The light source is the.
It'd be the terminator line. That's your reference. That terminator line has to work on a shape. What shape can you make that Terminator line?
But if that Terminator line is the result of a really large circle of light, you're not going to be able to tell whether it's bending or not just from local observations.
Yeah.
It's just way too large.
Location.
Carlos, have you got a tube of some sort that fits over that light source that you're using to just focus the light in one spot?
For what?
Too small.
No.
I know that. That's I just wanted
like try and put that flashlight inside a toilet paper roll and see if it's gonna cast a circular.
So it has a lightsaber beam.
Yeah, well, that's not how the sun works, moron.
I know.
Oh, I thought. Look, all I'm saying is this: in order for you to be able to make a model, a flat Earth model, and to be able to match the Terminator lines in reality as we observe, you have to get a light pattern on this shape, like this, like that, light going over here.
That was going to be my next step for you, Carlos, to try to make a tube that shape for the light to come out, because you've got to manipulate in the light source.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, so we know that that's impossible for your light source to be able to do that.
Yeah,
have you tried modeling it in real world to know that it's impossible?
Chris,
that you will not be able to do it.
Chris, what that line shows? Show that again, or what that line showed is what both our models have to adhere to. If we make the calls of sunrise, sunset, and we determine where those lines are, our models don't make where that line is. Our models have to adhere on our observations that we made.
You better prove it. That's right.
Right.
Okay, well, if everyone's committed enough, we can do it tonight. Everyone on this panel is enough people around the world that if you call and leave blah 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 at solar noon or at your sunrise, I can tell you exactly where that Terminator line is throughout
I've been quiet. I've been quiet for like 15 minutes.
I know, and I'm so happy.
Sean just showed us. Carlos just showed me and Chris Matt a Terminator line on a foam ball from a light that matched the moon observation. Wow. From a close light to a foam ball in his fucking
what are you talking about?
Garage space.
What is your point, Aaron?
Right? The point is, it happens on a close scale. You're matching the observation on what you call a fucking 240 quarter million mile ball with a 93 million mile away sun onto the same ball, but it matches. In your garage.
Yeah, did anyone else notice that like every third or fourth word, Aaron wouldn't even say a word?
Aaron, here's the thing: if I were to match the distance up to the sun to the moon on here, I'm gonna go from 45% of the sphere being lit.
Show the foam ball with your light on it, showing the moon terminations. Show it.
You do realize that?
It's a moron.
Yeah, hang on, Aaron. We don't have time for this.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Okay, I'm actually going to get ready to go because you're just going to start. Matter of fact, Chris, I do appreciate you coming on. I really do, because you're the type of person that I do actually like having these conversations with, because it refreshes my memory on how things work. I can help you out a little bit, and you can even open my eyes to something maybe I didn't see at a time, and then try to figure that part out. So I mean,
no problem, man. I love having these conversations. I love having these conversations with you guys too, because I'm learning too. I'm not just here to preach mantras to you guys. I want to learn. So whatever you guys are willing to teach me, and if I can possibly show you some things you're unaware of, then yeah, man, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, Chris. I won't attack you or anything, but I will. You might hear me raise my voice or something, but that's because of frustration. I try not to do it, but sometimes I get.
Davros.
Aaron, hang on.
I completely understand, Davros. I didn't feel like you're attacking me at all or anything. We're just having a discussion, and yeah, some people are going to get heated sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't attack anybody.
Chris is definitely he's definitely been around a while enough. Trust me, he's He's heard a lot worse.
Yeah, I get my cool today, right, guys?
Oh yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I just, you guys got to remember, like I do remember people, and I've had a lot of conversations, and like I said, Chris is one of those people that even in Discord and in some panels around, I've talked to him quite a few times, so I know where he's coming from. I know he's not like playing like a serious and then he's not acting like Aaron does all the time. So I actually like him. So that's why earlier I kind of said something, because he's somebody that I do respect, and I want him to be able to come around and hang out and talk. And you guys have a lot of information, so I don't want you guys to get all pissed off because you think he's like an Aaron, because he's definitely not.
I appreciate that, Sean.
Again, much respect. Thank you for being on, my friend.
No problem, man.
I'm calling it. If we make a big enough model, the next thing will be, what about the atmosphere? Just calling it.
Then we'll do that. Carlos.
I'm calling it.
Carlos, do you have anything going on, man? Your bot works now.
My what?
Your bot, iCarlos.
Yeah, I've been testing it here and there.
Okay. You got anything coming out? You've been?
Yes, I am definitely for real. Actually, putting the content up. I'm back from my trip, and we're getting things going. I feel so bad. It's been over a month or so since I got the boost from Bob, the science guy. But I've been trying to get that thing from the mountain set up, but I've been just having so many snags. But I'm back to normal now, so we're gonna get it going. Hopefully, I would love to have a weekly hangout show, like similar to the whole week wrap up. Talking about everything that happened in the week or whatever.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get that set up for a live stream, and I'm always open to a somewhat high what do you call it, a respectable flat earther to help me host a debate platform, so it could be a flat earther and a globe earther, and be somewhat neutral, because nobody wants to go to Nathan's, nobody wants to go to Jose's. There's no such thing as a sequitur.
Yeah, that's
so
that's what's needed. You need common ground between the two people, so it's not ever at each other's throats.
I'm thinking that if there was two people representing both sides as moderators, I think that either side would feel a little bit more comfortable. And it'd be less likely to be biased. I mean, it's never going to be perfectly neutral, but
we'll put it this way, and I'm going to tell you right now, Nathan actually used to be that flat earther. When he started, he was. I swear to you, he was like the flat Earth poster boy. Something happened after like show 200, and he snapped. I'm telling you, he was not like
yeah, because like all you guys used to be on there, and he didn't have a problem with you guys.
He
never.
He was the type of person that didn't even cuss back in the day.
No, I don't know what happened to him. But with the show that Carlos is trying to do, one thing I've noticed is that when you have like less people on the panel, like one-on-ones, those usually go really well, as opposed to like having all these guys on the panel and like everyone wants to talk at the same time. That usually is what creates most of the problems we're seeing.
Absolutely it does. I thought it's pretty cool here. I got a lot of people. Only person we really got to worry about is Aaron.
I think today wasn't bad, even though it was just me for a while, and then
you're not a flat earther though, Aaron. God damn it! You're not even like half-ass good at it. You're a flat earther that should just shh and listen. Hey, Quantum Eraser is talking to you, Aaron. Hey. You're like, it's nighttime. What are you doing?
But then me and Scott showed up, and all of a sudden everybody wanted to talk.
Who? Who?
What was that gentleman's name? The guy that was just on the flat earther.
You mean Chris?
I called him Scott.
Chris, the one that's still here?
Sorry,
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Scott, Chris, it's a common name.
Your best friend, right?
And,
You didn't say his name too many times, though, did you, Sean?
Yeah, but Chris is right. Once he showed up, it was just me and you guys just having fun, just fucking around. And then he asked Davros a question.
A good question.
And boom!
Inside
there was only like 5 people on your panel, Sean, and they all attacked him. They really did.
What the hell?
It was a really good discussion, though.
Yeah.
It was a really good discussion, I think.
You just found your way back to the troll fucking highlights. he's like, nah, man. All the Globers attacked us flat earthers. They were ruthless. And flat earthers like, Scott. It was a great conversation. It was. Thank you, Carlos. It was. We'll talk to you guys later. Yeah, good job, Aaron. Good job, buddy.
I do my best.
And like on the panels where there's like 10 Globers versus like 1 flat earther, it does look like, or it might feel like you guys are winning, but the people that are watching see it a completely different way.
That's why I'm like, okay, we're gonna see where it's at. Like, we have little bits because everyone's always chomping at, like you were saying, chomping at the bit to say something. But you and Carlos definitely took that conversation, because obviously Carlos was able to show us and visualize what he was trying to show us, and you're able to have a conversation and not want to kill each other. So it as long as it stays in a discussion, you don't have to agree on anything. It just comes to discussion.
Oh yeah, as long as it's like respectful and we're not like ad homing or insulting each other. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Like, Chris, you're wrong. It's not flat, but that has nothing to do with the conversation. The respect aspect of a conversation. That's just the reality of it.
Right.
That's just it. You think I'm wrong, so okay. Well, what do we not? Now we know that. What do we stop talking, or no? We discuss it.
Yeah,
that's what the reality is. It doesn't need to be a back and forth hate fest. It's not necessary.
It's not necessary, and like when you're insulting someone, that's gonna give them more reason to not want to listen to what you're saying.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, big time. Yeah. It literally makes your conversation point. That's one of the things I was saying about Rumpus. He's a smart man. I didn't back him.
Yeah, but people don't listen to him because he calls everybody morons and idiots.
He doesn't understand how to talk to people, so his information becomes pointless. If he can explain something to somebody, then what is the point? Not that, and the thing is I even tried to say, hey, try saying this, and this, and he called me a moron for trying to help him.
I think that's why people don't like.
And like if you're really a smart person, you should be able to explain something like easily. You shouldn't have problems with that.
Well, see, because like Richard Feynman, I have so much. That guy was awesome. The reason he was such an exception was because he was so smart. But not only was he so smart, but he was actually able to explain that stuff to you and I. And he just had a thing about him that was able to just simplify the unsimplifiable, basically.
That's Chris's point.
People like a greater sapien. It's people who are really good at that.
Yeah, really good ways of just breaking it down for the layman. Because it's the thing is you guys like, not you, Chris, I'm saying people in Flat Earth in general, like to bash like Neil deGrasse Tyson. The thing is about him is his job isn't to be technical and explain things to detail. His job is to understand what they said and figure out in 10 minutes how to make us think we know it all. And that's the reality of it. But he's only got so much.
He does get a lot of stuff wrong, though.
That's the bullshit of it.
You're right, he does. But remember, he's taking. Imagine what a publication actually looks like. Something that's really been peer reviewed and gone through, and now is a law or something, right? That's a lot of paperwork, right? He probably doesn't go through.
He's not going to be able to explain space-time to you in like 5 minutes.
Exactly. So he's got to pick only good points, and guess what? Some of those things aren't going to sound right if they're not explained correctly, and it's a downfall for him. But try explaining the stuff they say to you to someone who has no clue what's going on, and keep people interested, because that's what he's able to actually do.
A great example of this is the Earth pear shape, like a pear? No. Is the Earth as spheroid. Yes, it's a paraspheroid. Yes, you know.
Yeah.
So,
It's context. It's when do you take a clip. I've done enough editing now that I can make what Carlos just say go any direction I want. Any direct, like you guys talk on my live stream on a daily basis. I can just take clip. I can have conversations you guys having with other people about other stuff that makes no sense. That's how the reality of the world is. And so imagine
I've seen people. I've seen guys. Sorry to cut you off. I've seen guys on your side do that as well, like Conspiracy Cats and Siaman Dan. They love to take clips out of context of flat earthers and make us look ridiculous on purpose.
I agree, 100%.
That's for comedic, reason though.
I think they do. I guess actually I gotta go. I got angry people wanting to go to sleep and stuff. So, you guys can continue in the conversation and the hangout, but I'm gonna end it. And I was supposed to a while ago. I just kept the conversation. So yeah, she's gotta go to bed.
I thought we're supposed to talk.
Yeah. Just stay here. Stay here. I'll be right back, Aaron.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm Aaron. I'll be right back. But I gotta get off air, man, because dang, Aaron.
Oh, we're doing an after show, Sean, so they can, if they want to do, they can continue.
Hurry up, Sean.
Yeah, let me in, Terry.
I got a half hour.
Yeah, I'll let you. It's really late where I'm at, so I'm probably just gonna go to bed right now.
Hey,
I'm gonna go with it
again. Thank you, my friend. I'll talk to you guys
No
later.
problem, man. It was nice talking to you guys.
Yep.
Hey, Chris,
Maybe
cool for you coming on, man. Great.
Stay
Yeah,
around.
nice meeting you, Aaron. Thanks,
You
guys.
betcha, Chris. You betcha.
See you, Chris.
All right, perfect. There we go. Now, okay. So, like I said, guys, I gotta get out of here. I do appreciate everyone that was here. It was a fun one. I liked that one. It was a good conversation through. Definitely, much respect to you, Chris, for coming on because I like him because he actually has come from a background of debating where I know he's not gonna get all butthurt about shit. And I got a lot of respect for him. He's a cool dude. I like him. A lot of you guys know him. Know Chris here over at on Discord, but yeah, good dude. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take off. I'll be around tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow I'm gonna start talking about the freedom of speech, freedom of everything, blah blah blah. Because I don't even know what it is or an example of it. Try to get to the bottom of that one. As for the horizon, I think I made my point. As for what everything else that was in the conversation, AE, Rumpus and all that, I think I proved my point. I do have citations. If Rumpus wants to actually man up, or Astro Rex, if you want to man up and apologize, we can talk about it. Otherwise, I'll just go ahead and tag that one for a win. And I'll start showing that Rumpus tombstone so everyone understands who's the scared one. I'm just playing. I'm kidding. All right. Not really. Yeah, I gotta get out of here, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate the shit out of it. Peace.
Swerve on your zone every day.